showers are designed for safety and style and install in as little as 1 day. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at Zintex.com. That's Zintex.com.
From the Beacon Capital Management Weather Center.
We've issued first alert weather days this week due to dangerous heat and humidity. I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Darius Mack. There could be a stray pop-up shower or storm here or there, but the big story is really the building heat and humidity. Highs in the mid-90s with triple-digit heat indices could feel right around 105 and even more in some places. Be sure to stay hydrated and take frequent breaks in the AC.
Getting you through the lunch hour into the second half of your day.
It's the Chad Benson Show
On Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That right there is over Qatar right now. It's not only Qatar or Qatar, whatever you want to call it. Iraq has now said that they have had missiles fired at it.
Yeah, Iranian state TV is saying that Iran launched attacks on U.S. forces in multiple countries.
So, and I'm sure we might get more than just what is going on now. They're coming hard. You have to if you're them, all right? Like if you're them, you've got no choice. Here's the thing about being a dictator. You better show some cojones.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the people behind you who want your spot will come and take your cojones.
Yep.
And so that's what happens. So far, 10 missiles fired at Qatar, 1 at Iraq. That's according to Israeli sources. More is coming. There is definitely, I said this over the weekend when I wasn't sick from sun poisoning. Thank you very much, people who have no sunscreen, including myself. It's one of those situations where if there's nobody killed and, you destroy buildings or something like that, whatever, you signal it, they blow it up. Okay, now we can get back to the drawing board, talk about whatever's going to happen. If there's bodies, if there's numbers, if there's injuries, then what does America do? What do we do? Because I don't want to be into a war, and I sure in the hell don't want regime change, which is what I heard we weren't supposed to have. But then there was kind of like, maybe we should. So, but this is, you knew something was coming. It wasn't if, but when. And the when has arrived now, and it's not a lot. It's 10 at Qatar or Qatar and 1 at Iraq. And the amount of damage these things may get done is probably not a lot. I don't know how sophisticated they are. I don't even know what they have left, to be honest with you. Because I've heard so many stories. I'm sure you've heard them, kid. They've got 2,000. They've got 8,000. They've got 1,000. I have no idea how many they have left.
Are you talking about missiles?
Missiles, any of their stuff. I have no idea.
I saw a report, I want to say maybe Saturday, where the IDF says that it thought that it had taken out about 2/3 of Iran's missile launchers.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because remember, when you shoot a missile, it's not a one and done, right? So It's not like a Stinger. So you shoot one of these things, or a bazooka, where it's like, oh, that's it. It's going to send a signal back to there, and away you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anything is confirmed. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know how Israel would know that it has taken out 2/3 of Iran's launchers.
Well, I mean, there has been a quiet thought that there are several in and around the Ayatollah that are unhappy with the regime, that helped Mossad, how high they go up, which we're probably getting enough information to get out to Israel. But again, how would you know how they, what they have left unless you have people on the inside, or you're just guessing?
Yeah, which I would not be surprised if Israel does have people there in Iran.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure they're there.
So
I didn't get a chance to read the article, but before we came on, I was looking at the news listings in Edge.
Yeah.
And it said that there was a suspicion that higher ups in the government were going to attempt to replace the supreme leader.
Yeah.
Like Iran is going to replace?
Yeah.
There's been several. But the thing is, one of the things they've talked about is a few of the other people that would be somewhat in line are far more younger and radicalized. So be careful what you wish for. I'd rather the devil you do than the devil you don't. And if the whole thought process is we want regime change, it's going to be good, well, who gets to decide who gets to run that country? Is it the military? Is it the mullahs? We'd like the people to do it. Yeah, well, you know what? Let me tell you what happens. Most of the people, they don't have the way or the means to fight back. So it's a strong person that runs a lot of these things until everything collapses. And usually that's when it gets really hornet's nesty, especially from outside influences. See Libya, see Iraq, see what we've done in the past. So there's a lot of questions about who would be next. And if you think we're going to put the Shah's son in there, he's an idiot. He was cheering his people being bombed. That's not really the person you want there. He's been living here in America for God knows how long. So, this proxy, war that we're fighting for Israel doesn't mean that we've got some guy on the outside just waiting to get in.
And the only thing that was really good about the Shah's regime was that he was friendly to us.
And the Jews.
What they did to their own people under the Shah, though, is as abysmal as it gets with any government.
Yeah, it's like, the same guy, right, is as bad as the old guy. Right? So the new guy, it's all the same. They're just, one's a theocrat, the other is a monarch. They're ruling with an iron fist. The Shah would not allow any kind of opposition party. He banned it all. He banned Islam for the most part in a lot of places. Wouldn't let you wear a hijab inside, any of that kind of stuff. And he crushed his people when he needed to. So if there was any uprisings, he'd take them out. He wouldn't joke. He wasn't messing around. So you've got to ask yourself who gets to decide who gets to rule the country if indeed something happens? You hope it would come from an organic inside move, which is, millions of people marching on the street, eventually going the way of the Ceausescus, if you will, where that didn't go well for them at the end. And then people rise up who are going to say, all right, we've got the government already in place. Let's have some sort of vote within the next 6 months and see if we can get ourselves back on right footing. The problem is, Israel doesn't want that to take a chance in that situation. They would like to handpick somebody. And one of the things we're hearing is the person they would like to handpick can't be very religious, if at all religious, when it comes to Islam. And that's not something I think the people are going to allow over there. Right now, we're hearing so far that nothing has hit the ground. But there may be more bases. But so far, 11 have been fired, 10 towards Qatar, 1 towards Iraq. I don't know what else. You see people driving. It looks like a normal night there. So this is going to be very interesting. It is nasty.
I wonder what time it is in Qatar. I got to look at that.
What are they, 10 hours ahead of us? 9 hours? You would think it's like 9 o'clock, you think?
In Qatar. It's 8:13 p.m. So, yeah, that makes sense that there's some traffic there.
I got called a female kitty by somebody.
Female kitty?
Before a cat, you'd say what's new, pussycat?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want tons of war. So, a lot of, I'm surprised about how many people really out here really do want war, as long as it's not them involved. Right? It's like anything. As long as it's not me, I'm good with it. So as we are watching this stuff break, missiles been fired from Iran towards bases in Qatar and Iraq. Man, it's a trip to watch these things in midair, but they're getting picked off pretty easily. I don't even know. Like I said, we have no idea what they even have left at this point in time. So as far as somebody just texting, as far as leadership, I'd rather have a guy who is willing to ban Islamic law than a guy who lets mullahs run the country. Well, the problem is when you have a guy like that, they're going to ban everything they don't like. And this is what led to the uprising. It's always, where's the happy balance of somebody who's going to recognize that this is a nation of people who are devout towards Islam and at the same time not let it run the world for them? That's the interesting thing. I don't know when that's going to happen. So this is all on the heels of what took place, obviously, over the weekend, Operation Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer.
Drop the hammer. And we blew up. There are 3 bases over there. Well, blew up. We have no idea what the hell is left, right? We don't. I mean, we could sit here and say, originally it was over. It's done. There's nothing left. Nothing left. And then we're like, so there's nothing left? And like, well, maybe. So there is something left? It's possible.
Got to get it confirmed, and that is going to take somebody on the ground.
That's the issue right there. To get these things confirmed the way they want. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to be soldiers. It could be the International, Atomic Energy Agency could be on the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that we have to have a ground invasion. But the other thing is, too, did anything get away? Because now reports are coming out that days before and even a week or so before, especially around Fordo, there was tons of movement. And now they're thinking they got a lot of those things away from there, the enriched uranium, and that what might have been left was, it was like they picked it clean. So then we're right back in the spot that we were last week, which is they still have 60% enriched uranium, and now they've moved it somewhere we don't know. Feels like it's going to get a little spicy, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night.
The U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
And a lot easier. And so now the question is going to be, what's our response going to be? Is there going to be a response from us, or is that based on damage and body count? I mean, that's, did they telegraph it? Because everybody needs to know, they all have backdoor channels where they're chatting with each other. And they may have said, look, we're going to do this. Be prepared. Move your people accordingly. We're going to do it in the next 4 hours. You tell everybody, look, they're going to do this because we have to show that we have some cojones left. And they fire off a couple things. They knock it down. Then everybody says cooler, calmer heads prevail. And that's that. There's no injuries, no deaths reported. Looks like they got everything in the air. So they go back to their people and say, we did this. Look, we're still here. And then people can go to the table. And again, I don't know what the table looks like.
We don't let the great Satan push us around.
No, we don't. No great Satan pushing us around either. Or the Jews. The other great Satan. 2 Satans in one area, for God's sakes. So that could be what they did. Again, this is all going to come out over the next... This is still not done yet. Because now the question is, will Trump respond, or is he just going to let this lie low because nobody was hurt? That's the thing. I think as long as nobody's hurt, you've got to take a step back and say, all right, well, okay, they tried, they shot, they did their thing, they shot their shot. What's the old saying? If you're going to kill the king, you better hit the king. Well, you know what? They didn't hit the king, and the king's not dead, so long live the king, and we move forward. But I thought it was No King's Day. That was last week. We've moved a long way away from there. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. More on this. Obviously, big story, breaking story. Could there be regime change? We've got some other stuff to talk about today as well. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We're on Twitch. We're on X. We're on YouTube. Like and subscribe, as well as no Rumble. Just want to let you guys know that. No Rumble. Facebook, but no Rumble. For whatever reason, no Rumble. They don't like us over there at Rumble. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Oh, kids, Raycon, best earbuds around. As the summer is here, you're going to be out and about, moving about, right? It's going to be hot. Brad, these earbuds are weather and sweat resistant. It's awesome they stay in your ears. 8 hours talk time, 32 hours of battery life, best sound quality, best feel and fit you're going to find at a price point that starts well under $100. On top of that, you get a 30-day happiness guarantee, multi-connectivity, active noise cancellation. I go on and on. Great colors to choose from, and they're just amazing. This is what I want you to do. I want you to try one of these amazing things. You get a 30-day happiness guarantee. If you're not happy with them, you can send them back. They'll get you your money back, no questions asked, but you're going to love these things. And check out the fast charging. Woo! Every 10 minutes gives you 90 minutes of charging, which is incredible. So that power. So you plug it in for 30 minutes, you have 270 minutes of listening power. Boom, baby. And a 30-day happiness guarantee. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad now. The best earbuds around. Raycons. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
Pastor and author J.C. Ryle once said, contrary to popular belief, hell is not a place God sends only the worst of the worst. Hell is our default destination. What that means is we need someone to save us, or we stand before God condemned to hell. But we cannot save ourselves. Only God can do that. Ephesians 2:8 and 9 says, for by grace you have been saved through faith, that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast. Jesus Christ placed all believers' sins upon himself and died to pay for those sins. Why did he have to die, though? Because Scripture explicitly says the wages of sin is death. Wages means the same as payment, so payment for sin is death. There are no second chances to accept Christ and avoid hell after you die. So if you feel a prompting in your heart, it may be God drawing you. Scan the QR code to learn more.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Iran says it is attacking U.S. military bases, one in Qatar and another one in Iraq. That in retaliation for the U.S. attack on Iranian nuclear bases. These stories and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What's the weather going to be like? 352 degrees today?
About 352 degrees each day the rest of this week. Some relief coming on Sunday. It'll be 351 degrees.
Feels like. So this weekend, I went out. I took my son golfing. So we go out with our buddy Keith, who owns Contours here. He's one of the clients here. And he and I are friends. We go out. We go, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I forgot my sunscreen. Well, my son, he's like, yeah, I think I have some. He doesn't have any. Keith's going to bring. Keith, you bring it? No, I put it all on home. The other guy, Tim, no, he put it on at home too. Okay, well, I'll buy some inside. By the way, if you go there, just to let you guys know, Saddle Creek, they've got all the bug spray you'll ever need. They have no sunscreen. Zero. So I asked 3 or 4 groups going out, none. Finally, I see this kid, whitest, palest kid you've ever seen, bright red hair. I go, dude, you have sunscreen? You have to have sunscreen. He looked at me and goes, I have none. I'm going to get cancer and die today. So, and my son goes, Dad, it's so hot out here. Why isn't this hot? I said, Jack, when we're in Arizona, we're idiots. We're on the course. It's just you and I. We could play 2 balls at once, 3 balls at once. We go 100 miles an hour. we could get around in 2 hours. 2.5 we want to play, 27 holes or whatever we want to play. Whatever I said, it's not. I said, we're going on 5 hours here, dude. We still have holes to play. And he's like, oh, yeah. I said, we're just sitting here. And I got so sunburned.
Dude, you got cooked.
I did. I got cooked.
You didn't even get marinated.
Nope.
You just got fried.
It's ugly. Oh, good God. Ugly, ugly, ugly. I was, and
This is why I don't go outside.
I told Belle, I said, man, I got home. I texted my wife. I said, just want to apologize to you. She's like, why? I said, because when I come home tonight, I'm going to be really sick. She goes, why? I said, I'm sunburned. And sure enough, I got home. I felt like it was one of those things where I was on fire, but I was freezing.
That's a bad sunburn.
So I'm covered up, and then, my wife comes in and I'm sitting there covered up and I've got the air on at like 68, but I'm still covered and I am roasting. And then she tells me, I got this great stuff. I said, okay. This is where it rocks and rolls, guys. Be prepared. What's the great stuff? It's over there. It's in this little yellow jar.
Oh.
I go get it. I put it on. I go, wow, that smells a lot like Tiger Balm. And it was Tiger Balm-like stuff. It wasn't Tiger Balm, something similar. So that didn't help. And within hours, I was bubbling. Back of my head. Whew, jeez.
Man, Chad.
Well, you got sun too, brother.
I did, but it doesn't hurt.
No.
I got a lot of Cherokee in me.
No, that's good.
So it just kind of turns me brown.
Yeah. That's good, though. You look good. You look good. Unlike
Thank
Belle. Belle's white as can be.
Brother Bell, you need to get out there, dude. Take your shirt off. Get out in it.
No, outside is bad.
At this heat, it's not nice. I'm not going to lie to you. At this heat.
But yeah, I mean, as much, everybody knows how much I love heat and humidity.
Yeah.
And I do, but that comes with a caveat. I have to have access to air conditioning and ice cold water. Without access to that, I would not love heat and humidity.
You know how hot it was? The refreshment girls.
Yeah.
Driving around, they gave up.
They
they could have come to us and sold us $500 worth of water, and they just quit. We're like, we're done. So hot it was out there.
It was so hot, dude. Whenever Jennifer and I went to pick up our groceries on Sunday, they brought us out a complimentary bottle of water.
Oh, that's nice. And I love the heat. I don't mind the humidity. Not having my any kind of form of protection was just awful.
And of course, after you're nice and roasted, anytime your skin touches a burnt part, it's just a lovely experience.
Yeah.
Need to get you a bandana, brother Chad.
I understand. I wanted it all. Like, there was nothing I could do. Even I was just like, oh, because I don't get to play with golf with my son. So I'm like, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And Belle's like, you should have just ordered and somebody would have brought it to you. I'm like, dude, we're in the middle of nowhere.
You could have made a DoorDash driver in Louisville?
Yeah.
You could have made a DoorDash driver very happy because he would be like, oh, I finally got an order.
That guy would have been thrilled. He would have been. Good God, it was so hot out there. But we've got some cool weather coming. Cool weather indeed, baby. We are looking. There are no injuries reported, guys. Just want to let you guys know that. No injuries reported. Looks like everything was shot down and or missed. Qatar and Iraq, so far 11 were, sighted and shot down. And they shot down looks like pretty strong. Man, it's amazing to watch them shoot those things down. I don't know what they shot.
It really is. I would bet you it's probably a Patriot missile battery.
Yeah, I don't think they shot, though. I don't think they fired off ballistic missiles. That's what I'm saying.
No. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. No. Which, if you're firing off ballistic missiles, you're serious. If you're firing off some of these other things, there is a sense that it's more of a warning and a, look, we did something. But there's been some, and they may have missed as well. So they said there were a couple explosions that rocked the Qatari capital of Doha. Doha the Explorer.
Doha the Explorer.
So coming up, more of this, bunch of other stuff still to get to today. But we are watching it happen, break out right in front of us. Loud explosions. Iran has answered back, and it was more handbags at 20 paces than anything else. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got a traffic alert for Williamson County. Emergency management there issued a traffic alert this morning. It says Pope's Chapel Road at Carter's Creek Pike is going to be closed for hours due to some work on some water utility equipment there. Also, the heat index could reach 110 degrees in some parts of Middle Tennessee this week. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Iran has launched multiple missiles at a U.S. air base in Qatar. No impacts on the ground have been reported. In fact, Qatar reports no casualties, no injuries whatsoever. The Al Udeid Air Base is reported to be the largest U.S. air base in the Middle East, and it is in Qatar's capital, Doha. Iranian state TV says it also launched an attack on U.S. forces in Iraq. Here's Louis Martinez.
The concern has always been that Iran would retaliate against U.S. forces that number 40,000 in the area right now, and potentially even 45,000 now that we have the arrival of an additional aircraft carrier. But the concern has been that Iran might retaliate against exposed U.S. military bases inside of Iraq and Syria, where there are about 4,000 military personnel. And also, we have major bases in Qatar and in Bahrain.
In his first broadcast interview since being released from 104 days of ICE detention, Columbia graduate student and pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Halil has spoken exclusively with ABC News. He tells ABC's Lindsay Davis he expects the legal fights will drag on for a long time.
It's a very, very long fight. It may take years. But I will focus on is continuing to advocate for Palestinians.
Here in Nashville, Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been ordered released by a federal judge, but the Department of Justice has filed a motion to appeal that judge's decision and asking her to stay the impending release order. Abrego Garcia, the Salvadoran man living in Maryland when he was deported in March, he's pleaded not guilty to human smuggling charges stemming from a 2022 traffic stop here in Tennessee. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Retirement Ready Toolkit from our friends at Beacon. With all things going on in the world, you want to make sure that you're covered, and Beacon can help you that across the board. It's not just about dollars and cents with Beacon. So I'd say you don't want to unretire because you have to. Some people out there, they're looking towards their second act in life, and you don't want to unretire unless you want to because you got a great second act. Some just want to enjoy their second act, and let Beacon help you with that. And that includes being your full-service investment advisor. And this means tax planning, this means estate planning, even healthcare. It's a big part of everything that goes on in retirement, not just the dollars and cents. So what you do is you call them today, 615-488-9303. Beacon's going to get you out a retirement-ready toolkit. That's a Money Enough for Life book, a retirement planning checklist, and a Maximizing Your Retirement Income white paper. No cost, no obligation, and no pressure. Find out what Beacon can do for you. They're local. Call 615-488-9303 or online at AskBeaconNow.com. We're monitoring what's going on throughout the Middle East as Iran is, well, they tried something.
But right now, it looks like we've seen the interceptor missiles fired up over Doha, Qatar, into the night sky, and no evidence yet that any of those missiles have landed on their targets.
Yeah, I mean, it's crossing over Reuters as well right now that the Qatar air defenses intercepted this missile attack on the U.S. military base there. Also crossing UAE airspace is currently closed based on flight paths and air traffic control audio. That is coming in via flight radar. So a lot happening.
A lot happening all over the place. And Trump truthed out. Did you guys see the truth from Trump? The truth from Trump. See the way I did that? He said former President Medvedev from Russia casually throwing around the N-word, nuclear, point that out, saying that he and other countries would supply nuclear warheads to Iran. Did he really say that, or is this just a figment of my imagination? If he did say that, and if confirmed, please let me know, all capitalized, immediately. The N-word, again, nuclear, should not be treated so casually. I guess that's why Putin's the boss, by the way. If anyone thinks our hardware was great over the weekend, far and away the strongest and the best equipment we have, 20 years advanced over the pack, is our nuclear submarines, which are just ferocious. They're the most powerful and lethal weapons ever built and just launched 30 Tomahawks. All 30 hit their mark perfectly. So in addition to our great fighter pilots, thank you to the captain and the crew. That would be crazy. I don't think they would ever do that, but this is about getting under the skin of everybody. This is what this is about. Let's get under the skin of everybody. So what do you guys need? Can we provide you with something? What could we do? They're not going to provide them with anything. Oh, they might, if they could give them some low level, but they're not giving them anything big. It isn't. It isn't going to happen because by doing that, you're opening up a much greater chance at something going horribly wrong. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that. And Putin would say, stop it. It's okay for because, like, I would expect that from Kim Jong-un. Like, that's something you expect from that cat. Oh, God, hey, what's up? It's me, Kim. Hey, what do you guys need? Right, we need nuclear weapons. Yeah, we'll get it right there. Do you guys have any Bacardi? Do you have any posters?
Any food?
Yeah. Do you have any posters? I got gout. What can you do for gout? Can you do something for gout? He's always got a mess. My sister's mean. Can you guys do something with my sister? She wants to take over the world. Earlier today, Thomas Massey, I don't know, he was on with Tim Pool. And if you guys don't know who Tim Pool is, where did you see that? He's got a big billboard, right?
Yeah, he's got a billboard. If you're coming 65 southbound from the Rosa Parks direction, it's right there before you start getting into the city.
Yeah. So, because Massey's been look, I'm not a fan of us going to war, but this wasn't war. This was a strike. Trump has got the opportunities, as has other presidents, in this situation, if they feel there's a threat to strike. So this was what this was. This was not us going to war. Now, if it gets deeper, then yes, he better go to Congress. At this point in time, though, that wasn't it. And Thomas Massey came out and said something about it.
No, I don't share that concern. But I have another concern, and that is that 3 bombings to neutralize Iran may turn out to be the 2025 version of 2 weeks to slow the spread. This could turn into a protracted, prolonged engagement, and I'm here to represent the base of the MAGA party that got Trump elected. Most of us were tired of the wars in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, and we were promised that we wouldn't be engaging in another one. Yet here we see this happening.
But we're not fully there. Okay, so there's no injuries today. I have a feeling a lot of this was back channeled. They knew what was coming, and they were prepared for it. It was a way for them to save a little bit of face, because that's what you have to do in this situation. When you're a leader, a dictator, you've got to show that you're not afraid of the great Satan and his friend. And, and they know that, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we'll fire some stuff off. They give us a warning of 30 minutes or an hour. And you go from there, because they recognize, look, if not, they're going to come harder. Now the question is, will there be regime change, which is a battle that I want no part of. I was told no.
This mission was not and has not been about regime change. The president authorized a precision operation to neutralize the threats to our national interests posed by the Iranian nuclear program and the collective self-defense of our troops and our ally Israel.
So I was told no. There won't be regime change, but not quite no.
The president's posture and our military posture has not changed. The president was just simply raising a question that I think many people around the world are asking. If the Iranian regime refuses to give up their nuclear program or engage in talks, we just took out their nuclear program on Saturday night, as you all know. But if they refuse to engage in diplomacy moving forward, why shouldn't the Iranian people rise up against this brutal terrorist regime? That's a question the president raised last night. But as far as our military posture, it hasn't changed.
Well, how exactly would they do that? I mean, you'd love to see him do that, right? You'd love to see him stand up and do that. But they're not happy. A lot of people in the street weren't happy. They feel like, hey, we were attacked. This is between you and them. And I don't know how many people were killed, if any, over the weekend. It was pretty, precise where a lot of these places were, especially the 3 nuclear facilities are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But there's a lot of people screaming for regime change. This guy always wants war. This is John Bolton, no relation to Michael. Always, and I mean always wants war.
Well, I think it should be America's declared policy. The regime itself is the problem here. It has been all along, both through its nuclear program, its ballistic missile program, its support for terrorist groups in the Middle East, around the world. This regime's been in power 46 years. It will not change its behavior. So the only foundation for long-term peace and security in the Middle East is to overthrow the Ayatollahs.
Okay, there's not a... He would overthrow your kindergarten teacher if given the opportunity. Dude wants war all the time.
John Bolton has never met a bomb he didn't want to drop.
On anybody. Do you remember when Trump used to talk about it when he'd be in a room and John Bolton goes, just sit behind me. And he goes, you guys better do what I say. I don't want war, but that guy behind me, he is always ready for war. And he's been on a bunch of shows this week talking about what? War. That's all he wants. And I go back to this when it comes to, because, Trump tweeted out something last night about, well, we can do, MEGA. Is that what it is? Make Iran great again. Well, I don't even know what that means. But still, we can't, let's not get involved. We're not good at this, right? There's some things we're great at. We're great at breaking stuff. We're great at crushing everybody's soul. We're great at dominating when it needs to. But we're not, and nor do we want to be in a position where we have to rebuild and try to put somebody in place that, let's be real, because this is a lot about Bibi. There's a lot about Bibi that this is this weekend. Even when Trump thanked everybody during his speech the other night, he thanked Israel first before he even thanked our men and women. This is a lot about Bibi. So my fear is, doesn't matter. Like, Bibi wants destruction, he wants regime change, but he's never going to be the person, like, we're like, what do you think of this guy? This guy, huh? And he's going to be like, I don't think so. All right, we're going to take him. What about this guy? You know what? For a minute I thought, but nope. I feel like it's not going to be perfect for him. And that's a lot of what this is about, which is frustrating. There's no doubt about it. Frustrating. And when you sit there and think to yourself, okay, we've done this, right? You wanted this done. We went, we did it. Now you guys are still getting hammered. And now it went from, this is not about regime change, to, well, maybe we should probably get rid of these guys are bad. I always go back to this. I don't know what the next guy's like, but this guy's weakened. And this is where you want him, weakened. So let Israel handle it from here on out, which is, I think, what we're going to do. And I don't think, they fired a bunch of stuff today. It didn't take anybody out, which is good. So now the question is going to be, how much more do we do? This is not war. We're not at war, because I heard a lot of people say, we're at war. He should have went to Congress. We're not at war. These were military operations. They were one and dones. If we're going to be bombing nonstop 24/7, our men and women are going to be in harm's way. We're going to eventually have to have some boots on the ground. Well, then there's a conversation where you have to go to Congress to get that. But this was a one and done, and it was brilliant. I mean, it was a bob and weave. Went one direction, came back the next direction. Phew. And that was spot on. And the way that they worked it, fantastic. So one and done is not war. Even though Thomas Massey would like to think it's war. Man, and he was he's an interesting cat because he and Trump, they're battling it out.
I assume you read it.
Can you put the post on the screen? It's like a dissertation. I know he went to Wharton, but I bet he never wrote a paper that long when he was at Wharton. But it's amazing that the president of the United States, the guy who launched 7 B-2 bombers to the other side of the planet to bomb targets over there and returned them, he got up and spent 15 minutes writing a tweet about a Republican, not a Democrat, a Republican congressman from Kentucky. I responded to that tweet, actually quoted it, and I just said, President Trump's declared so much war on me in the last day that it should require an act of Congress at this point.
Yeah. That's Massey earlier with Tim Pool. And look, I like that Massey wants it. Here's one thing that Massey has is he's got to go and he's to say that Congress itself has given up way too much power. Both sides kind of give the presidency almost a monarchy feel where they can kind of do what they want. And they've allowed them to usurp their power. That's a them thing. He's not about that. But this is not war. This here is not war. And the people in Kentucky seem to like Massey. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But this is a interesting thing. Once again, missiles fired from Iran towards U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq. Looks like nothing happened outside of them exploding in the sky. I don't know if any got through and hit elsewhere. But now what? That's a big question. Now what? Are they going to come again? Or was this the one and done? And I remember when I was in England, the IRA towards when I first went over there as a young kid, they would phone ahead and say there's a bomb in a truck, evacuate this neighborhood. Because they realized killing a whole bunch of people didn't get them the sympathy they wanted. They wanted press. They didn't want to kill a bunch of people anymore because that didn't do them any good. They just wanted the press. I think this was more of a press shot by Iran to their people saying, look at what we did. We're not afraid of the great Satan, as our good friend Bell put it. Coming up, who knows what else we'll talk about. We got a lot of other stuff. I just don't want to do this all day. But the reality is it's war, and sometimes war-ish. Not war for us, but war for everybody else. And, it's kind of hard to say it's not war if you're having, missiles fired at you. But we're not boots on the ground yet, which is a good thing. So we'll talk a little bit more about this. A bunch of other stuff to get to. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 3, 6, 9, all this incredible stuff packed into an amazing supplement that you give your dog on a daily basis. Your dog's going to love it. Our dogs love it. Our dogs have no problems. They're bouncy. They're happy. They're a lot of times crazy bouncy, but that's a good thing. I want them that way. I want them healthy. I want them happy. I want them living a long, long lives. And so should you. With Rough Greens, it is a 1 scoop a day thing. You don't have to do anything other than 1 scoop a day. Put it right on top of your dog's food and watch what happens. Your dog's going to absolutely love it. You'll love what it does for him. Try it. 1 scoop a day. It's a $20 value jumpstart bag. You get it for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. RUFFgreens.com/Chad. Roughgreens.com/Chad. Get your $20 jumpstart trial bag for free from Rough Greens. Roughgreens.com/Chad.
No reports of casualties from Iran's attack on a U.S. base in Qatar. And here in Nashville, an internal investigation of the Metro Police Chief has wrapped up. We'll tell you what it says coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Guess what, guys? Guess how a 24-year-old wingsuit base jumper died? So he jumps off mountains with his wingsuit. How do you think he died?
He forgot to put on his wingsuit.
He put it on, and he floated for a while, really fast, right into a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably instant.
Yeah, that was, his family said he kind of went out the way he wanted to. You know, it's like he was a hard charger in life. At 12, he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. He had done an Arctic, dog sled race, like when they do the I Kill a Dog.
This is what going outside gets you.
This is, well, you're not jumping off anything. He actually had a documentary about him called The Boy Who Could Fly. No more. Now, The Boy Who Could Fly.
Not so good.
He had 4,000 jumps. That feels like a lot of jumps.
That's a lot of jumps.
Yeah. So he told the documentary makers that preparation was key to being safe. So he was very prepared. But you're also dealing with weather, right? Like you're going fast. You're in a little bit of a jet stream up as high as you are. So as much as you're dealing with weather, it doesn't mean stuff can't happen. Wouldn't it be fun? Like, he stepped on a rake.
Yeah. After all that, that's what takes you out.
Like what was it? It was the crocodile hunter got killed by a fruity fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, got killed by a stingray.
Got killed by a fruity. How'd he die? Did Fred get him? When the freaking, what's his name? Norm Macdonald was talking about him.
Yeah.
Well, Stevie, who got him? Who got him? Oh, it was one of those fruity fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the fruity fish got him. That was so bad. I'm not going to wingsuit, so
no,
that's not my jam. I'm going to go with a hard pass on that. So, there's some things I'd be willing to do, but that ain't one of them.
Yeah, I'm not going to wingsuit, and I'm not going to sleep on the side of a mountain looking 4,000 feet down.
No, that feels...
Not going to do that.
No, not doing that. Not jumping out of an airplane either.
There was a lot that the people that I knew would do there in Idaho that I just said, no, thanks. No, I'm not going to climb a mountain in the middle of the winter in 3 feet of snow. No, I don't want to do that.
If I had to, I could do that. I would, people say, would you swim with a great white shark? In clear water, I would. Not in dark water. Not. But if it's like it's clearish water, I got, because they're not really interested.
Depends on if they're hungry or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure they're fed. So the clear water. You get in there and see if they eat you first.
Feed that thing.
But I would do a great white shark dive thing, especially in a cage. But I'm not, there's just something, especially as you get older, you have kids. Like when you're 30 and you got no kids, 25, you're willing to do a lot of stuff. Like, I got nothing. You got kids. You're like, oh, no, not this.
No, sir.
No, sir, indeed. Coming up, we got the latest from what's taking place over there. And by there, I mean the Middle East. We've had the Iranians have fired off several missiles into Qatar, in Iraq. Ken's going to have the latest on that. Bunch of other stuff to get to coming up in hour number 2. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, an internal investigation is wrapped up and clears Metro Police Chief John Drake of carrying out a romantic relationship while on duty on taxpayers' dime. The Office of Professional Accountability investigated Drake's relationship with this woman during part of a 2024 after allegations from her ex-husband, whom she had filed protection orders against for stalking her. The investigation finds there never was any intimate activity in the chief's office or on the city's dime, including text messaging. The report says the allegations were subject to interpretation and, in some instances, false.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. A U.S. official confirming Iran fired missiles at Qatar, targeting the largest U.S. military base in the region. Some 10,000 U.S. troops stationed there. The missile launches followed the U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv and says there are more bases in the region.
We had multiple threats, multiple warnings from Iran that they would indeed retaliate to the U.S. strikes on 3 nuclear facilities. The latest one came from the Iranian president. He's not a key decision maker. The Ayatollah is in normal circumstances, but these are abnormal circumstances. But again, warning that there would be retaliation.
President Trump now huddling with his national security team in the Situation Room. ABC's Rachel Scott has more.
As we anticipate more from the White House and this administration on their reaction and next possible steps, as the president has warned.
Qatar's defense ministry says they've intercepted the Iranian missiles and there are no injuries. This is ABC News.
Roughly half of the nation's population is starting the week under some level of heat alert. Nearly 50 record high temperatures in the Northeast to be challenged today, with Philadelphia looking at its first triple-digit day since 2013.
This is Jim Ryan. Extreme heat is a serious health threat to the very old, those with existing health issues, and to people who take certain medications like some antidepressants.
They tend to reduce sweating.
El Paso physician Gabriel Ibarra Mejia.
If you're not able to sweat as much as you should, you lose the ability for the body to cool down.
Some medications also limit the thirst response, leaving you dehydrated before you even realize it. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
What about if you're hungry? Cause for celebration among customers of Krispy Kreme, but reasons for worry for workers at the donut chain. At the same time that Krispy Kreme is rolling out its Independence Day offerings, frosted stars and stripes themed donuts, the North Carolina-based franchise is warning of a security breach that may have compromised personal data, including Social Security numbers and banking information. Krispy Kreme says the breach primarily affects current and former employees. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's happening. Iran gave Qatar advance notice of missile launches. See, this is exactly, first of all, this is the best case scenario. Everybody knew what was going on, except for probably the people inside of Iran. They were looking like, look at us, we're strong. We're looking at the great Satan and saying, no to you. No so for you. And then away it goes, and this is what's going to happen. Will we react to this? Probably not. There's a very good chance we're not going to react to this. There's no reason to. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was killed. There was advanced warning. So, and the Qataris got straight to us and said, you should probably move your people, get ready for something. They fired everything because you don't want missiles flying over Qatar because you have a relationship with them, obviously, because of Hamas and many other things.
The speculation there is that President Trump would have to respond. And that's what has everyone concerned because, it goes from being this singular, limited strike on Iranian nuclear sites, and then it moves into a wider war if there's this retaliation and back and forth and so forth. So, a lot of this, the U.S. officials here say that they are hoping that everything, that this is a one-off, that, they can handle this, they can shoot these missiles down, and that the calmer heads prevail.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think Trump's going to respond. I think he's going to say, look, they fired. We're going to work on it back to the diplomacy side of stuff. If they continue to act this way, then we'll act accordingly when and if something happens. And it was always about, and I hate to say this, it's about body count. It's about body count. If they would have done this and it killed, and wounded, a couple, dozen soldiers and injured several hundred, then you would be looking at this in a much different way. But they told the Qataris what was happening. This takes place. This is part of the dance that goes on in this situation. And the dance is you have to look tough for your people. If you are a dictator, if you're a person who rules the nation the way that he does, Khomeini, then you have to show that you're not weak and flex whatever muscles you have left. And you do that, and then that's it. It's now the question becomes, what's the next thing? Are they going to have a real conversation? And do we know where everything is? That's the other side of it. We bombed a bunch of stuff, right, in a brilliant fashion. No doubt about that this weekend. That being said, did we get everything? I don't think we did. How much did we damage? Don't know. Did they move a lot of stuff? Well, there was a lot of suspicious activity that took place in the days and weeks leading up to at Fordo in particular. Were they able to remove the enriched uranium somewhere else? Yeah, probably some of it. But all that being said, what's the next step? And I think
at best this slows them down. It doesn't stop them.
No. And by the way, this probably speeds up any opportunity if you're in them sitting there. And you look around and you go, okay, let's see here. Libya got rid of their stuff. He's gone. Ukraine got rid of theirs. They got invaded. And look, Kim Jong-un's got his, and nobody messes with that guy. So there's a reason that people push for this, and it's not just because they want to blow everything up. A lot of times to protect themselves in their mind from what may come. So, and Israel is there. I think Israel is going to continue to push. Does Trump, though, have it within him to say, all right, we did everything we were supposed to do. We did our part. We dropped the bunker busters. We did that. You guys want to find out if there's still stuff in there that's active and working? You're going to have to go in there and do it yourself. Because nobody wants boots on the ground. Nobody does. There's not endless wars, because that's what they become. They become endless. We get into a situation where it's always nonstop, and it's us, and we're pouring tens of billions and trillions of dollars into it. And yes, Iran, this regime is awful. The amount of people they have killed since the revolution. They had 8 hours of war, but 8 years of war they had with Iraq, which, by the way, we backed Iraq in that. They had 8 years of war there. Then they had their proxies across the region, including places like Syria, Libya, Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq eventually when it fell. And they killed and wounded tons of our soldiers and innocent civilians, and armed many other militia groups across the region, even if they weren't their proxies. So they are, no doubt, they're bad news. But you don't want it to escalate to where we have boots on the ground because we have no choice to have boots on the ground. And that should be the number one thing. And I think Trump did this weekend. I think at this point in time, I think this is kind of where it ends for now. God willing. But you never know. I mean, they may have something else up their sleeve. God willing, they don't. But it could happen, and that's the big thing. Could this thing go from this to that? Could it escalate at any given time? Sure, anything's possible.
This really is dangerous ground, that this starts to become far more regional, and that will bring in many players. It will involve the popular mobilization units inside Iraq. It potentially involves Hezbollah, who have also been active again today, and there will be consequences.
And that's the other thing. We're not looking at this, we think it's just between, Iran, Israel. There's more to it than that. You've got other nations that are already starting to set up areas where they think there might be refugees should things go sideways. And that could be ugly because then it spills out to the rest of the region. And we see what happens. Part of this becomes a destabilization. I mean, we went in there. There were people who honestly thought we were going to roll into Iraq and be welcome as liberators for 5 minutes. And then what happened? We put some idiot in charge, and how'd that work out for us? It didn't, because it never does. And that's why when I hear regime change, it should make everybody's butt pucker a little bit, because whenever we do that, we're trying to change a regime to somebody we'd like. Who's going to be our guy? Who's going to be the cat that's going to make sure that they're going to take care of stuff? And whether it's Afghanistan or Iraq, go see Syria, go see Libya, go see it just goes to hell. It does. And we don't want that. Nobody wants any of that.
Many people will feel this was suicidal by Iran. It's already beleaguered. It's had its key leadership killed. It's had its armed forces decimated. Israel now controls the skies. And although this may be face-saving, which shouldn't surprise us because there's form there, the response from the U.S. to this could trigger further events inside Iran.
And then what happens? So there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things going on and a lot of moving parts. We did our part, as far as I'm concerned. And I hear a lot of people say, well, he should have went to Congress. I even heard Massey say that, several others, the Democrats trying to look for something. No, it was a one and done mission. That's it. One and done. We don't need to go to Congress for that. It is over at this point in time. Now, if it escalates and we have to do more and more and we have to start actually doing some stuff that is more than just flying our bombers. I mean, how amazing was that? They flew from here. We flew some to the east and some to the west, confused the hell out of them. And it wouldn't have been, as I was telling Bell, do you want to know the truth? Here's the truth. It wouldn't have mattered. We could have told them, we're coming at night. This is what time we're coming. You can't stop us. You can't. You can't stop us. You can't stop what's about to happen to you. You can't stop what's about to happen to your area there. You have no chance. We're going to do what we want.
The best they would have gotten out of it is an opportunity to move some stuff. But even then, a lot of that takes time to package and ship, and you can't just move. You can't pick up a centrifuge and stick it on a truck in a couple of hours.
Yeah. But they said it took weeks. They'd been moving stuff for weeks, is what we're hearing, and how much of it they got out too. So they're saying that all that was damaged was the exit and the entrance. Well, those are pretty damn important. I mean, that's all that's damaged. What about underneath? Doesn't matter. The exit and entrance. Okay, so what exactly does that mean? And then they show, have you seen some of the things from the other places in Bordeaux? They'll show you stuff and you're like, it looks the exact same, just it looks like it's dustier. Because you don't put this stuff in your neighborhoods. I'm surprised they didn't. But, it's so... the exit and entrance. That's all that's damaged. The holes where you get in and out of, yeah, that's not a good thing. Now, do they have other facilities? See, this is my fear, dude. I don't know about you guys, but I'm waiting for them to go, you know what? They could be 5 years away from getting another nuclear. We better do it again. And it goes it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and rinse, and rinse. And even today, they're asking the questions because people are standing up in Israel going, all right, okay, now what? What's the next thing? Because we always have that. We're great at that. We're great at like doing stuff. We're breaking stuff, but we never ask the question, okay, now what? We broke this thing pretty good. We smashed this rock into another rock into another rock. Do we do something with it? Just keep smashing it. I can't smash it anymore. Oh, some of you texting in. If anyone trusts Iran's, they're fool. No, I don't trust them. I don't trust the people running Iran. But do we trust the same people here that helped us get into a war that cost us trillions and hundreds of thousands of lives? Who lied to us in the open? And the same guy was pushing that. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget what Bibi was pushing back then. If we get rid of Saddam, everything's going to be better. It wasn't. It wasn't better. And this is my favorite thing. We talk about regime change. Well, Japan and Germany were not Iran. Let's not forget. There was nothing left, and we were actually at war with them. We're not at war with Iran. And they were willing and wanted change. After years of feudalism in Japan and Germany's war footing, they were open to change. I don't know how many people are going to be open to change in Iran, especially if they think that we are. Like if we went into, here's a perfect example. I said this the other day. If we go into North Korea today and we set them free, if you will, with regime change, do you think those people that have any idea what to do? Not a clue. They wouldn't. I mean, you can't even live in that city, Pyongyang, without them telling you it's okay to live in that city. You have to be that much of a person on top of the North Korea's list to even get in there. Those people that have no idea what to do. And if you went and asked, and that's just one, and you go to a place where you've got 50 different religions, there's 13 different ethnicities and religion in Iran, on top of the secular side of stuff. Everybody's going to be fighting for something. You want a parliamentary democracy, you've got that. You take away the theocracy and let it go where it goes. Sounds great. But who gets to call the shots? And what if the next person we call in, well, he could be great. He could be Santa Claus. Be the greatest thing ever. That'd be awesome. Might not be. So we have to weigh in all of the options, but we have to look at ourselves too. We've got problems here. We're in debt up the Yahoo. There's no doubt about that. And do we want to get dragged into something else, even if this gets a little nastier for Israel? Those are all questions we need to ask ourselves. With the big, beautiful bill's not even passed, for God's sakes. I mean, it's getting bigger. I haven't even done anything yet. It's putting on weight. I could hear it. It's got type 8 diabetes. That's how big it is. Coming up. Ken's got the latest. We got some other stuff coming up as well. Grab the podcast. Check us out across all of our social media. Like and subscribe. We appreciate it when you do. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 997. All right, kids, Birch Gold. Birch is awesome. Let me tell you something. At a time like this, unstable world that we live in, gold is where the smart people are moving their money, especially now. You think about BRICS meeting next month in Rio. What could take place could be crazy. So their whole thing is let's get away from the dollar. That could hurt us. So why not be smart when it comes to some of your investments, some of the things you're looking at. And guess what? Gold is there for you. It's a great way to protect yourself to the downside with upside potential that's still right there. And the move Gold's made has been incredible. Whether you want the physical or maybe you've got a savings, 401k or IRA, and you'd might want to move it over to an IRA backed by precious metals, my friends at Birch can help you. Text the word Benson to 989898 today. That's the word Benson to 989898 for Birch Gold. They're going to get you out an info kit, let you take a look at what they do. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They're amazing. Text the word Benson now to 989898 for Birch Gold. Wellness Institute in Nashville's got something for you, baby. Is your back hurt? Oh, it does? Well, then get it fixed. The Wellness. Right here is fantastic. They're amazing. You can go to painisbad.com or call 615-246-5009 today. So let me tell you something. Presidential special going on, $34 for your first consultation, x-rays if needed, and your first treatment. They tried to get Trump 34 times, and guess what? The maneuvers didn't work. Trump's still there, and your back can still be there, and back is back. That's why the Wellness Institute of Nashville. No pills, spinal creams, none of that stuff. This is about technology and the brilliance of Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley showing you the way to get your back back, the way that they do it through their technology, their amazing, brilliant skill that they have, that they've compiled over years and years, building you a plan to get your back moving and feeling better, and that spine, well, in a much better position than it is now. Get your back feeling great. Get yourself feeling great with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them today, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or go to painisbad.com.
Iran says it's launched attacks on U.S. military bases. And here in Nashville, Metro Police Chief John Drake cleared of any wrongdoing. We got these stories and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Cleared of any wrongdoing. Cleared, he said. Cleared.
Clear.
Like emergency. They love that, didn't they? Oh. Hey, what's going on with Diddy? It's been rather quiet. Did they convicted him yet?
Dude, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I know he hadn't been convicted.
No, I still think it's going on. Did you see? I was watching something last week where they said they showed some of the videos to the jurors. Yeah, I think the reaction on the faces was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe the best. And on top of that, you've got the people that are actually there on half of the prosecution who are sitting there who also participated in that. So, and I'm sure it was drug and fueled. And they were also talking about the amount of guns that he had, the amount of baby oil, which we already know he has a lot of he's got a lot of baby oil. So there was that. There's no way that guy can get off, right? There's no way.
I don't know. I go back to the 90s and the white Bronco.
That's what I was thinking. Was that just the other day? Was that that was, right? Is it the anniversary of that?
Might have been.
When the white Bronco chase take place?
Let's see.
That was, I remember it. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
That was June 17th,
That's
1994, just 6 days ago.
So the next day was, I think that was the day the World Cup started. And I had to go pick up all of our tickets from our shoe rep. So like Adidas and these people, they had come over and get my buddy Kenny and I, so we could take our tickets and go see games. So I go over to get them, and as I go up to the place, they all have a TV on. I go, what the hell's going on? He goes, OJ's making a run for it in a white Bronco. I'm like, no way. I had to get on the freeway, and you see him come by, and it's just dead stop, and people are just on the freeway.
Oh, yeah.
Waving to him like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And he drives by, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't care about this. And obviously, no offense, this makes me feel even more like you did it. And then he got off, which to this day is still... Because here's what I know. They're not looking for anybody else.
No.
Right? It's like that Karen Reed case. Okay, she's innocent, but they're not looking for anybody.
Yeah, but after he was acquitted, he spent the rest of his life looking for the real killer.
Especially out on those golf courses.
Yes. Well, they were out there. That's what I do know is they were definitely, because I've heard a lot of golfers also didn't like Dan Goldman, whichever Goldman it was.
Yeah.
And didn't like Nicole Brown. Didn't like her at all.
No.
Didn't like any of them.
They were hiding in the bushes.
They were always.
Off in the
That's why you've got to be careful when you're putting.
Yeah.
Because at any given time, and I always laugh. Remember, he still went to jail because he held those guys hostage.
Yeah, kidnapped them. Held them hostage, accused them of stealing his Heisman Trophy or something.
Oh, God. He had all kinds of sports memorabilia up there. That
and
guy.
instead of calling the police, just decided he was going to handle it himself.
Oh, my Lord. Just crazy.
Nah, that's not somebody who could have murdered his
Never.
ex-wife.
I know there was a lot of issues that they had, but he seems to have handled everything well. He didn't have any problems. I always say he was the juice, right? He's the juice. Have you seen the Naked Gun trailer, the new one?
Yes.
Have you seen when they go through all the people that were Naked Gun and they get to OJ?
Yeah. That's the only blight on that franchise, man, is OJ. Nordberg. He played Nordberg.
He played Nordberg. That is right. He played Nordberg in that. And lo and behold, you're right. That is the only plight in that. So imagine, it's hard to watch stuff back in the day and you see OJ, or like even the Cosby Show, which you might have loved. And the whole time you're thinking, Rapey McRaperson.
He was America's dad for a while.
He was. He was America's dad and apparently America's Uncle Touchy McFeely. And it was the same story every time. Go to his house, he'd talk to you, feed you something, give you a drink, you'd pass out, wake out naked, he's on top of you.
Yeah.
And he's all, pudding pop, or whatever the hell he said. And the next thing you know, he went to jail and they got out on a technicality. Good God. I'm surprised nobody took him out in jail. They don't like rapists in jail.
No, they don't.
No.
There is a code.
There is a code, right? There is a code, and how they, I don't know. That's a weird thing. He must have been in protective custody somewhat.
I bet you he was.
Coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to. Some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff, and then some stuff that's in between. So we have small, medium, and large coming up. You guys ready for that? Fantastic. It's Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Iran says it has launched attacks on U.S. military bases in retaliation for the hit on their nuclear site Saturday. More on that in a moment. But right now in Nashville, Metro Police Chief John Drake has been cleared of any wrongdoing by an internal investigation into allegations that Drake was having intimate moments with a woman while on duty on city property on the taxpayer's dime. The Office of Professional Accountability investigated, says it has wrapped up and found that all of the allegations were either subject to interpretation or false, but that nothing happened as was reported to be on the taxpayer's dime. The allegations brought by a man who got arrested after his ex-wife filed protective orders against him for stalking. Now to Iran.
A U.S. official confirms that Iran has fired missiles at Qatar, targeting the Al Udeid air base, the largest U.S. military base in the region. Iran has been preparing missiles to target U.S. military facilities in the region, according to this official. The president was scheduled to meet with his national security team in the Oval Office this afternoon. President Trump visited Al Udeid air base last month when he traveled to the Middle East. After the strikes on Iran Saturday, the president warned Iran against retaliation. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Yeah, the U.S. says that there were no casualties on its base from this attack from Iran. Roughly 150 million Americans under some sort of heat alert of advisory, I should say, as temperatures climbing well over 100 from the southwest to the northeast. Some regions forecasted to see the highest temperatures since 2012. And the extreme heat will even extend up to the Canadian border. We get more from ABC News. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
These are the feels-like temperatures. Philadelphia for 105, Richmond this afternoon 108. We could see daily record high temperatures broken from Boston to New York on Tuesday. Washington, D.C. could do it every day the first part of this week.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Be sure to stay hydrated and take frequent breaks in the AC.
It is June time, so what's that mean? Hot. Have you had your ducts cleaned? Maybe you're thinking that's not it. I mean, new HVAC unit. Call Busy Bee. Call Busy Bee and check this out. You'll have a chance and be entered in to win if you buy a new HVAC unit this month, a 3-day beach getaway. You buy the unit, they're going to take care of everything when it comes to vacation if you win, including gas, 2 meals per day, lodging. The winner's going to be announced on Facebook Live. Only clients who purchase this month the brand new AC are eligible to enter. Only one winner. Restrictions apply. Top of that, great specials like the air ducts. Let's say your air ducts need some cleaning. You buy the mid-level one. They're going to give you the deluxe package for free. 15% off whole home drain re-pipes. On top of that, $500 off select tankless upright water heaters. And let's not forget, if you need to maybe have a look inside your pipes, drain inspection video, just $99. But this is the best part of all of this. $99 for the Beehive, the Beehive Club. Now check this out. You buy it this year, you get it this year, next year. So 2 for 1. What? Yeah. What are you waiting for? Beehive Club, baby. Joining now, call Busy Bee HVAC, 775-7833, 775-7833. Check them out online, busybeehvac.com.
Jesus came to earth the first time to save the world. The next time he comes will be to condemn the world and those who have refused to accept him as their Lord and Savior. Christians are co-heirs with Christ and possess full rights as sons and inherit salvation, eternal life, the earth, the kingdom of God, and all things. If you're not a Christian and have wondered about eternal life, God may be drawing you. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, for only God can save you.
No matter what I've ever done.
No matter what I've ever done.
No matter what you've ever done.
But what about?
No matter what you've ever done.
Even if?
You are no longer condemned, no matter what you have ever done. Non-cancelable, guaranteed reservation in heaven when you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Learn how now.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
I'm looking at the heat map, Ken. I'm looking at it.
I mean, it's angry.
It is. Oh, it's like my sunburn is so angry.
A lot of purple and red.
Oh, so Ottawa, 103 degrees in Ottawa.
What in the world are they going to do in 103-degree weather up there?
I don't know. DC's 105. Holy mother of all humanity. 96 in Atlanta. Tampa 98. Houston 101. Dallas 97. Oh. Quebec, 90 degrees. The Frenchies, what will you do? You go over there, though, and you want to know why it costs $18 million to live in a one-bedroom shanty? It's July almost, and it's 74 degrees in Los Angeles, 63 in San Francisco.
Yeah.
61 in Salt Lake City. Oh, my Lord.
Does it ever get to 90 degrees in San Francisco?
No. You want to know the coldest time in San Francisco? June. It's cool in the winter, but June is freezing. And because they have that onshore flow, what they call it June gloom, which is always kind of gloomy till mid-afternoon, and it is freezing there. And it smells like urine.
Yeah.
Which is not part of the ocean. God, look at that. That is an angry look.
Oh, yeah. You looking at the Nashville map?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that. Oh,
purple. Nashville's in the purple.
We're at 99, Columbia 98, Knoxville 97, Johnson City 92. You go right across the border, Bowling Green's 101. Sweet mother of goodness. It is hot.
Yeah, I love it.
And then I do too. And then you go out there. Let's see here. What are we at? Phoenix. It's 89 in Phoenix. What the hell is going on?
They had a cold front go through
They
Arizona.
had a snap. Oh, my Lord.
What is it in Vegas?
Vegas, it's not that much. It's 83 in Vegas.
Wow.
You guys have lied to me.
See, 83 degrees in the desert is awesome.
It is gorgeous. Yeah. Well, you got no humidity.
No humidity.
It's beautiful.
It's pleasant.
I mean, I'm looking at here, and it's like it's 105 in D.C.
This is why I don't go outside.
Is this one of the reasons you don't go outside? You have many reasons why you don't go outside.
Fair point.
Cookville's 95. Dickerson's 98.
I sure do hope they were able to pre-treat the roads.
Yeah. Well, you think they drop some salt
Sliding
just
around.
in case the snow comes?
Sliding around on all that hot ice.
It's hot ice. It's lava. God, we are very angry. We look like a nasty sunburn. It is not a good look.
I got a redneck, dude. You got a redneck, too. We're a couple of rednecks.
We are. We're super rednecks. And the back of my head got so burnt right through the hat. I wore a hat that had the little holes in it. That did not help me. I got home and I looked like a waffle iron. Which is not a good look. I don't think that's a good look, Chad. It wasn't. You guys, here's a great story for you. We're trying to figure out what to do. Okay, speaking of San Francisco, what are we trying to do? We're trying to figure out what to do with all of these people when it comes to illegal immigration. Florida's come up with a plan.
This is like something out of the movies. Florida's attorney general is now pitching this new plan for what would be the state's largest immigrant detention center. He wants to build it in a virtually abandoned part of the Everglades, and he is calling it Alligator Alcatraz. Now, the Everglades, as you probably know, are notoriously full of dangerous alligators. Let's not forget the giant Burmese pythons there, too. Why is he saying this is a good idea, and is this a real pitch from the AG?
It is a real pitch. Florida's attorney general is calling it a one-stop shop with nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Florida AG James Uthmeyer is offering this plot of land to the Trump administration to be turned into a temporary detention facility for undocumented immigrants. In the middle of the Florida Everglades, the 39-square-mile virtually abandoned airport and training facility is surrounded by alligators and snakes.
Alligators. You need to worry about the alligators. The snakes are useless. They're not going to do anything to you. They want no part of you. A Burmese python is not going to kill you and eat you. Okay? Unless you're really tiny.
Unless you start wrestling it.
That's right. So let's just say we caught 500 little midgets or tiny people or the littles or whatever you want to call them. That's not going to be offensive, right? The itty bitties. Caught 500 of them. I don't think itty bitties is also a word you want to use. So you can't, and they're like, we got to put them out in the Everglades.
You ruin your own story with these funny things you say. I'm so busy laughing, I stopped listening.
If you're a smaller person that's height challenged, I apologize. But you put them out there, and they run into a 16-foot python. Is there a chance that the python could take you? Absolutely. If you're a grown man that is not of height challenge, an itty bitty, a small person, a little person, whatever, no, that's not going to happen, right? But doesn't mean if it wrapped you, it could give you a go. It might be able to kill you, but it ain't going to eat you. Now, the alligators, on the other hand, you could be with some of the littler folk, and you could be running around out there, and they're going to go, wow, look, oh my God, it's like chicken nuggets, and they're going to eat a whole bunch of them. Again with that, Chad. I'm sorry. You guys are the worst. Stop egging me on.
Popcorn chicken.
What you eating? I don't know about none of these things before I get full. They're like Dippin' Dots.
Where's the sauce?
That's right. Oh, geez, that's horrible, Chad. Oh my goodness. So they're going to do that. That's their good. Everybody's trying to figure out how they can impress Trump and what they could do. Well, guess what? We've got something for you. We can shoot him into space. What do you think of that, sir? We'll shoot him into space for you. Please like us. Oh, my goodness. All the Everglade pygmies have been eaten. Oh, my Lord. Burmese python. Proof again, we need controlled immigration. Yes, Burmese pythons. Yeah, those were a lot of those were pets that got loose, not because people turned them loose. Yes, there are people that did that, but a lot of them are pets because people abandon them when their houses are going to blow over because of hurricanes. Is hurricane season in full effect now?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. Because I saw last week we had Hurricane Eric, but Eric didn't seem to do a lot.
Yeah, I think it just went up the. I think it might have hit Cozumel.
Okay,
but I'm not. I don't think it did any.
No, I don't think
significant
it did any
damage or anything
okay,
like that.
So yeah, because I know that it's hurricane season. What's it like here? Like, what's the worst you've seen us get hit here?
Well, Helene over in East Tennessee and North Carolina is the absolute worst that I've seen. Now, I mean, we'll get the rain. By the time it gets to us, it can be a tropical depression. By the time it gets to us, I mean, it's dropping buttloads of rain.
Yeah.
But
last year was kind of the worst because I was here for that.
Yeah, the rain that was dumped on North Carolina and East Tennessee, that they had no idea that type of rain was coming.
That was ferocious. Because like anything, what we would think of is no big deal. If you're not prepared for it, you're not built for the amount of water that it picked up. And as we talk about with nature will mess you up. Nature did just exactly that. It was horrific. But I watched something the other day, because I'm really into like the gangster world of and they look at mobsters all the way up to the gangsters of today. But they showed one of the big gangsters they were in New Orleans. And sure enough, I mean, once the hurricane came through, it moved everybody out. And they destroyed, that was the thing that stopped them for the most part, was the hurricane broke up the gang and destroyed so much of their area that they were at that they had to rebuild everything, and they just decided, well, gentrify it, which is awful. No, it's not. It's really good. You ever move to places like, are you guys gentrifying? Well, what's that supposed to mean? You're gentrifying. He's like, things getting better here. You Chad.
Are you feeling a need to move?
Yeah. It's horrible. No, it's not. It's great for everybody. Right? Especially for young couples who want to fix her upper. Like, that's maybe all you can afford. Right? Once you get a Chipotle, things are starting to go good. You get a Chipotle in the neighborhood?
You know your rent's going up then.
Yeah, you know it's coming up big time. Get that Chipotle. Get that Whole Foods. It's over now. Once the Whole Foods moves in, kids, just start looking around going, all right, who's this couple that's going to buy my house for way more than it's worth?
Speaking of which, I need to get to that. Got a new Whole Foods down there in Murfreesboro.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you get at Whole Foods?
Got it a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I usually give time for things to die down, which is a good idea in Murfreesboro because at any given moment, you're behind 3,000 to 4,000 people at every traffic stop.
Man. We go, my wife and them go to the turnip truck over here. Yeah, they like it. It's got, it's
Is that a store or an actual truck?
No, it's a store.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a.
Where is it?
It would be like if they took a farmer's market and then they just turned it into like a store. It's right over here, like off Broadway or one of these. I've only been there once. It's nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's got a lot of stuff that, a lot of hippie stuff that I'm.
High prices?
Yeah, some. It's not the worst, but at the same time,
it ain't Walmart.
You're not buying Coke there, if that's what you're asking. There's no Coca-Cola there, right? There's not even a Dr. Thunder.
Or Schnee.
There's no Schnee. There's no Spreet.
Is there any Sprat?
There's none of that. There's no 8-Up. You're getting none of that stuff.
6 down.
That's exactly it. You're getting, but they have a lot of stuff that's healthy. And they've got some bad stuff. They got a great, bad stuff. I mean, stuff that you and I, the average person, go, ooh, that tastes good. But they also have, they got a lot of that. Like my wife loves that. They got the watermelons and all that stuff, and it's just great. And it's like all the, look, this is the way I judge a store. You can say what you want about me. If the dessert aisle is not as big as the vegetable aisle, we need to have a conversation. I love me a dessert.
Be careful. You might have to fat shame yourself.
I've fat shamed myself on many occasions. There's no doubt about that. Not that big, but I better watch out. Now we're limiting our intake of ice cream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just like Friday and Saturday. We go across the street to the Baked Bear.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's it. I will have a little bit on Friday, a little bit on Saturday. I try to have no more than that. And it was fine when I was working out 3 hours a day, but I don't do that anymore. It's like even now, like all this stuff going on, I'm going to have to go home and I'm going to have to do a whole another 3 hours of radio.
Dude, I can't have tubs of ice cream in my house.
Oh, I could.
I can't do it,
They
man.
don't stay there, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm the same way. You put that in my freezer, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, man, I start shaving the top off. You know, I'll say, I'll just have a couple of bites. Pretty soon, the damn thing's almost gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I've eaten almost all of it. There's no reason to put it back in the fridge. I might as well just kill it off.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, I might as well eat this last spoonful with some peanut butter.
Yeah. You know it's shame when it's the second day you've had it and your wife brings you over just the container with a spoon in it, and you're like, I am gross.
That wasn't me. That was the kids.
That was like, see, I'm lucky right now. I have all the kids over. So my son's here, my little brother's here, my oldest daughter's here. So they're eating like they're locusts. They are. It's amazing. I mean, they're absolute locusts.
That's normal for teenagers.
Yeah,
though.
that's normal for teenagers, which is good for me because I want to know that I'd like one peanut butter cup at night. Like, that's all I need. But on a Friday night, I'm sitting there. I've had a long week. My wife's going, we're going to the Baked Bear. I'm like, I'll take a little ice cream. And a little ice cream ends up being a pint. And then you look at it, it says like 1,500 calories. And you're like, I could put this down right now.
Serving size, 1 quart.
Yeah. Serving size, gross. You're gross, Chad. Gross! Coming up, we're not talking about what's happening. We're giving you updates. Talk a little bit more about it next hour. The reality is they attacked us today. Short and medium range ballistic missiles. There weren't the big dogs. We fended them off. Qatar knew about them. So this was, I think, very planned and a smart thing for the regime if they want to stay in power to do. The question now is, what will Trump do? We'll talk about that. A bunch of other stuff straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk, 99.7. Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, make it 369. We always talk about it. So maybe you're this person. Your dog's a little bit older, maybe 8 or 9. Who knows what they are? But they're not as peppy as they used to be. You take them to the park, they could stay there all day. Now they stay there for a little while, chase a few balls. But when they get home, get on the couch, they don't move as nice. Aches and pains in their joints. Try Rough Greens and watch them return back to their puppy-like self. It's incredible. All it takes is 1 scoop a day. That's simple. For our older dog, Doodle, we thought we had to put him down. He eventually passed away last year, but we got an extra 6 years out of him. And 6 years that were bouncy and happy. He played with the young dogs. They were puppies at the time. It was incredible to see that his life just kept going and going. When we were worried about having to put him down, all because of Rough Greens, we were able to keep him alive as long as he did. Try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today. All it's going to cost you is shipping. It's a $20 value. RUFFgreens.com/Chad. roughgreens.com/Chad. Get yourself a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens now. You just cover the cost of shipping. roughgreens.com/Chad.
When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses.
Hey, guys, contours and gals, you need to get out to Contours. Ladies, you want to fit in that bathing suit even better, right? Summer's here. You want to be outside. You're just having that struggle to maybe get over the hump, right? You know, same thing with guys. We want to get in that shirt, want to be able not to be, that's where Contours comes in. They're guaranteeing you're going to lose 2 inches in your first treatment, or it's free. And let me tell you something, it's just $99. It's incredible. I have done it. I fit way better in my clothes now. It is so easy. It's so relaxing. They also do facials. They're revitalizing. They got red light therapy. It's awesome. Tightens your skin, makes you look great. But let me tell you something. The Ultra Slim Body Contouring guarantees you're going to lose it, and you're going to lose more than that. It is awesome. So I want you to get out there, see him. You want to feel better. You want to look better. No time like the present to do so. Just in time for the sun season, if you know what I mean. Call Contours today. Make an appointment. 615-236-9960. It's a $99 special going on right now. 615-236-9960. Or visit contoursllc.com to schedule.
Metro Police Chief John Drake cleared of allegations, and Iran launches attacks on U.S. bases in the Middle East. These stories and more at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
So a lot of people chiming in about the ice cream can, saying you should blame your neighbor if all the ice cream disappears. Apparently somebody does that.
Somebody got in.
Yeah.
Let me go check the Ring doorbell camera. No, it wasn't working at the time.
Yeah, we know how that happens, right? It must have been the same people who worked on Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, okay? But somebody ate it. It wasn't me. Must be the ghost ice cream eater.
It's a travesty
of justice.
We're going to have a family meeting.
So let's see here. Somebody said there's a Aldi's German cake with cherry and chocolate. See,
son of a biscuit.
We got a cake for my son's birthday the other day. It's one of those ones where it was so thick.
Yeah.
Like just holding it, you're like, I'm getting fatter holding this thing.
What, it weigh about 10 pounds?
It weighed about 10 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Well, how many people was it supposed to feed, though?
Well, it fed the whole world. It felt, there was like 8 or 9 of us ended up eating. But still, we could, like if it just had a little bit of frosting on it and a little bit of, because you couldn't escape the frosting. It was all in the middle, too.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, I can't escape this. I got to get some ice cream to help wash this down. Don't worry, it was diet ice cream.
Had a Diet Coke afterward.
It was diet ice cream. I felt really better about it.
Diet ice cream.
Oh, somebody said guilt-free. Are they Frollies? What's a Frollies strawberry? Oh, it's one of those ones. You know what? I know a lot of people are like, I eat this stuff and it tastes just like it. No, it doesn't. It doesn't taste like ice cream. Let's be real.
I remember my parents did Weight Watchers there for a while. And they would get this ice cream that was absolutely horrendous.
It's the kind of stuff you give to them in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh.
Tell us, or you get another scoop.
It was terrible.
Oh, I've had some of that. It's not the same, people.
No, sir.
Skinny Cow makes really good ice cream. But you know what it is? It's about, like anything, it's about control.
It's all about moderation.
Everything's about moderation.
Not in this country.
Not here. I've seen us. That's why we have FatCon. But it's about moderation. So if I had a buddy, all he would eat was ice cream. Like, seriously, he'd have a little bit of breakfast in the morning, come home every night, and he pounds ice cream. That's all he would eat. And he was thin as a rail.
I've got a cousin like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he goes, dude, I'm only eating like 1,800 calories, 1,900 calories a day. But it's all ice cream. It's all ice. It's a good diet if you can get it. But it's moderation, people. We all recognize that. And for us, my guilty pleasure is donuts. I got to stay away from donuts. They're the worst. They're the worst best. The chocolate old-fashioned. Woo! Good Lord.
Here's what you do. Next time you get some of those chocolate-covered donuts, like break them in half and throw them off in a glass of milk.
Okay. See,
the cold milk.
That's not helping me. That's not helping. I thought you were going to say break half of them off and throw them away. And then you're like, no, put them in this now. Right? Put them on top of your ice cream and pretend it is a topping. Ken is not helping us.
Keith texted in, ice cream is going to do you no good staying in the freezer.
It's
and
not.
That's actually very true.
It's not. I tried it. It wants to come out. You didn't buy me for nothing, Chad. Let's dance, baby. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Who knows what we'll talk about? It'll be fun, I promise you that. You miss any of the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast, Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7.
2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. We've also got the latest on Iran, claiming it has launched missiles at some of our U.S. military bases over there in the Middle East. But right now in Nashville, Metro Police Chief John Drake has been cleared of allegations he had an affair on city property on the city's dime with a woman whose ex-husband got arrested for stalking her. The Office of Professional Accountability says the allegations by Mario Montez Mitchell against Chief Drake involving Mitchell's ex, Watisha Lawless Mitchell, were either subject to interpretation or flat out false. Now to Iran.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Days after the U.S. carried out unprecedented airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, Iran launched a wave of missiles at the Al Udeid base in Qatar. The U.S. and Qatari officials say the short and mid-range missiles were shot down, and there are no reports of impact or casualties. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv with more.
Many people will feel this was suicidal by Iran. It's already beleaguered. It's had its key leadership killed. It's had its armed forces decimated. Israel now controls the skies. And although this may be face-saving, which shouldn't surprise us because there's form there, the response from the U.S. to this could trigger further events inside Iran.
President Trump and his national security team were meeting in the Situation Room when Iran launched the missiles. The Pentagon says there are 40,000 U.S. troops stationed in the region. This is ABC News.
Roughly 150 million Americans under some sort of heat alert of advisory as temperatures climb well over 100 from the southwest to the northeast. Some regions forecasted to see the highest temperatures since 2012, and the extreme heat will even extend up the Canadian border. More from ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z on how the heat can impact even the asphalt on roadways.
We could see impacts to roads, but also it's all about the lack of relief that happens in the overnight and the cumulative effect of this heat. And that's why we've got so many heat advisories right up through parts of Mississippi, Kentucky, into New Hampshire and Vermont.
Yeah, this next story here in Nashville is rough. Heat-related. Metro Police say they arrested 2 people after a dog was found dead on a balcony. Channel 4 says officers found the dog with no access to water or food. It appeared that the dog had been attempting to chew its way out of the metal balcony. Witnesses told officers they saw that dog being left on the balcony for several hours at a time for multiple days and nights without food or water. 23-year-old LaKendra Moore and 24-year-old Derek Pinkston are both charged with aggravated animal cruelty. The arrest affidavit did not give the location of where they found this dog or where the couple lived. Watch for him. The largest digital camera ever built has released its first shots of the universe.
Photos of colorful nebulas, stars, and galaxies known as the Virgo cluster, including 2 bright blue spirals. The images are taken by the biggest ever digital camera at the Vera C. Rubin Observatory on a mountaintop in Chile. The celestial bodies are thousands of light years from Earth. A light year is nearly 6 trillion miles. Funded by the U.S. National Science Foundation and the Energy Department, it will also look for what the astronomer, Vera Rubin, suspected were mysterious dark matter and dark energy.
That is Chuck Stevenson reporting, and the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Welcome back to Dessert Talk, where we talk about desserts.
Yeah.
Somebody just said we should only talk about Iranian desserts.
That was me.
What are we going to take from them?
Cake.
We're going to have our cake and eat it, too.
We're going to have lots of cake.
So much cake. It's going to be uncake and believable. Oh, God. How lucky are we? We're not being bombed. Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, the only thing we have is the heat dome.
Yeah, we got that heat dome.
What is it? What's it feels like right now?
Let's see here. Let's see what it feels like right now. I don't see a feels like temperature for Nashville right now. What's going on?
What?
There's got to be a feels like temperature.
There's got to be.
I just got 94 degrees.
That's it? No feels like?
Yeah, no feels like. Come on now.
Come on.
I got to look at this.
It's hot outside.
U.S. National Weather Service, Nashville.
It is gross out there.
Heat index 100.
Oh, gorgeous. That
feels like 100.
Feels like it could be 100 degrees outside.
Can you imagine what it must have been like to live in the 30s, 40s, and 50s when air conditioning was not a standard thing?
Yes, we can ask, hey, Ken, what's it like to live in air conditioning when it's not a standard thing, considering you're the one who's got a car that's have air conditioning right now?
It wasn't bad, boys.
Well, you got the window down, right?
Yeah, I got the window down, just, put a fan in the window, blow in all that hot air inside.
Oh, it's gorgeous, right? It's fun. You know what? I love having the window down when it's cold and the heater on, but I've been in some cars in my life where, I don't know if you're aware of this, they overheat. And even in the summer, you got to do what? Turn the heater on. Try to get down. It's 110. Inside of my car feels like 308 degrees. Dude, whoever did that to the dog, you should be horsewhipped.
Well,
yes.
I think too, police say witnesses told them that, yeah, we noticed a dog up there,
Also horsewhipped.
Being left several days. I mean, say something, man.
Yeah. Also whooped.
I will never forget, dude. Before we left Tulsa, this is back in, I want to say, this was 98. Had a neighbor who had 2 beautiful pit bulls. Beautiful. But he kept them, albeit it was a shaded part of his house. He just kept them in this pen. And I started noticing there was no water in their bowls. And so every morning I would get, before I left, I would throw my hose, over the chain link fence and fill up their water. And I mean, man, they would just tear it up.
Why? Why do you do that to dogs? Why do you have animals if you're going to do that to them?
Well, Dempsey and Shelby were their names. Dempsey was a full-on white pit bull. I'm telling you, he was beautiful. His mouth looked like a shark. But the problem with these 2 is they were so neglected, they got out one time. And it was not pretty. But I don't know how you do that.
I don't.
I am probably the most anti-government person that works on this radio station. But if you do something like that to an animal, you should have your rights to own one ever again revoked completely.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Look, can stuff happen? Of course things can happen, right? I mean, stuff, every once in a while stuff happens. And you might take but I bet you if you ask the neighbors who saw this dog, this was not the first time this dog had been in a situation where it was outside all the time.
Well, and that's what they told police.
So, this isn't one of those things where the dog got out and then the dog got stuck out.
Right.
Right. This person, and how hard is it to put a thing of water down? It's not that hard.
Well, and here's the thing, too.
Some shade.
Let's say you did put water out there.
Yeah.
What's to say, maybe it's a rambunctious dog, and there's the possibility he or she is going to tip their bowl over.
True.
And then they're not going to have any water.
No.
And if you're not coming home anytime soon to check on them.
Yeah, you've got to, like your neighbor, somebody.
It takes a horrible human being to torture an animal.
Or to leave him in the car.
Yeah.
Although I've seen, I saw this when I was in, not Phoenix, but out in Palm Springs, where there's a little dog in the car and people getting ready to break. And there's a sign on the car and it's a Bentley or whatever. And it says, the car is, manual, it's powered remotely. It is 68 degrees inside. I have food and water. Please don't break the window.
And I have the radio on playing the Eagles.
Yeah. And by the way, you can't afford what it's going to cost to get this fixed.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. People like that are sickening.
Yeah, that poor dog, man.
Yeah. What a horrible way to go.
It's terrible.
It is. And it's not hard to take your dog. And if you're that concerned, then don't have a dog.
Right.
Like if it's that big of a deal to you that this may happen, that you might have to leave your dog outside, then you should have your dog taken away from you or go surrender it. Go surrender the dog.
Yeah, better that than having it just suffer to death like that.
Yeah.
And it was chewing the metal of the balcony to try to survive, to get out.
And as a neighbor, I would have gone over there and said, all right, what do I have to do to get this dog water, to get this dog off of there? I mean, if it's upstairs and you can't get into their house, obviously, but can I spray a bunch of stuff up there? Can I take a ladder and can I do something? It's you're sick. Like that is torture.
Yes,
And I bet
it is.
What kind of dog was it?
It doesn't say. And the arrest affidavit does not give a location of where it happened.
Yeah. I don't, a lot of people are saying, I don't care what you do to them. Absolutely. Do whatever you want. So just those people are scumbags when you do something like that. Now watch we find out that they weren't. Were they arrested?
I don't know if they were arrested, but they're charged.
Yeah, watch them. They were on their way home. They were only supposed to be gone for 10 minutes, and they were like in a car accident, and both of them were, it's like something they didn't plan.
Well, apparently this was days.
Oh, see, my God.
Yeah, witnesses told, this is per Channel 4. Witnesses told officers they saw the dog being left on the balcony for several hours at a time for multiple days and nights without food or water.
I would have just went over and you could have, hey, because we don't talk to anybody anymore, right?
Right, exactly.
That doesn't help. But you could go over and say, hey, Scotty or whatever.
Need me to feed or water your dog?
Yeah, hey, dude, if you're going to be gone for a few hours, man, or you guys going to be gone all day, if the dog wants to stay over here, we don't want to let that dog get, it's getting really hot out there. Yeah. You don't want that dog to get sick and die because that, worst case scenario, that could come back on you guys.
Yeah.
And then if they say something, then you call, animal control and you make it a big deal, put it on the internet. People freak out about it, as they should, for something like this.
Well, that neighbor of mine did not like me.
Did you fight him? Fist fight him with ninja skills?
Well, he would have kicked my ass, I'm pretty sure.
Not with your ninja skills, he wouldn't have.
But I
would have never seen you coming.
Yeah, I told him, I said, man, Dempsey and Shelby, that whenever I'm leaving in the morning, they don't have any water. And, I had noticed coming home, they don't have any water. He said, oh, yeah, man. He said, I got to do better about that, And, I'd see food in their bowl, but no water, and the bowl wasn't wet. So I don't know what was going on over there. But, whenever I would put water in their bowl, they would suck it up.
Just lap it up. They're not camels. I just want to let everybody know that.
Oklahoma gets real hot in the summer.
Yeah, it does.
Real hot. Oh, I like Tennessee.
Yeah. What do we, it feels like 100? Some people are sending me, 106.
100 degrees.
Nasty out there.
106 in places.
So 106. Jeez, that feels like. This week in golf, it was 155,000 degrees on my head.
First offense, animal cruelty in Tennessee is a Class A misdemeanor. Second offense is a Class E felony.
Yeah. And depending on what happens, you should, if you can't take care of it as much as you like it and supposedly love it, don't let it die because of your selfishness.
If you love it, rehome it.
That's exactly it. Exactly. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. And I know you may love the animal, but it's hot outside. It is stanky hot outside. Ken and I got sunburned and I got sunburnt so bad.
Yeah. You are officially a redneck now.
I am. Yeah. I'm almost a pink neck. It burned through my skin. It was nasty. And the back of my head started blistering.
Oh, now that's not good, dude.
Within a few hours. It was nasty.
Dude, you gotta be careful.
I know. Trust me. Look, I asked everybody in the golf course, do you guys have? It was my responsibility. I forgot. I thought my old bag has like so many. Every time I go somewhere golfing, I always make sure I grab one.
Yeah.
And I thought this place would have one. And all it had was a bunch of off, because apparently they have issues with giant bugs out there. The sun is no issue. Ginormous bugs are.
Mosquitoes the size of hummingbirds.
Yeah. So it was... I got sunburned bad. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to get home and not feel good. And she's like, what? And I told her what happened. And we asked everybody. It was just, and the fact that he didn't sell any was shocking. I'm like, this weekend, if I could have brought 20 of those, I could have sold them for $50 a pop. Everybody was looking for it. It's like cocaine. Cocaine, man. It's like an ice cream on a hot day. Ooh, yeah. Put some cocaine in that ice cream. So apparently Qatar has threatened Iran now. How dare you shoot stuff at us? We're going to shoot stuff back at you. I'm like, really? See, this is the fear that everything goes sideways.
Well, and Qatar is claiming they shot the missiles down.
Yeah. Well, they knew about it. Iran, told them. If you guys didn't hear earlier, they shot at our bases. One in Iraq, which I don't even know what happened. That probably got shot down. But Qatar had to shoot down 10. And now they're saying, well, hold on a second. They warned them, but now they're saying they shot them down themselves. So this is This is the fear of stuff starting to get sideways. Iran has no friends in the region. And even before this, they had no friends in the region. Their closest friends were proxy groups like the Houthis and, the Hamas and Hezbollah, right? That's it. I mean, there was nobody else. Jordan's not their pal. Egypt's not their pal. So Saudi Arabia has MBS has kind of opened up a line and said, hey, we're sick and tired of fighting with you guys. So maybe we should try to, maybe we can have ambassadors and try to be kind to each other somewhat because it's not good for business. But they're not friends. They have no friends. And their friends are North Korea, China, and Russia.
Yeah.
That's not a good set of group of people to be hanging out with.
No, and
it's almost an axis of evil.
Almost.
And, China, Russia, they're just using Iran.
Oh, of course. Of course. You guys have oil.
Yep.
That's what we want. We want oil.
And you don't like America.
Yeah. We
like you.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't like America is a win for them, right? Like, that's a big, big win. You don't like America? Fantastic. We're your friends. By the way, do you have any more of that cheap oil? And just to let you guys know, like we always talk about, the size of oil that they have is second only to Venezuela. It's like a ridiculous amount of oil. Second only to Venezuela. We're way down in the loop. Canada dwarfs us size-wise for our oil. I mean, they are huge when it comes. And part of it is, too, no matter how much oil we produce, is it the right kind of oil? But also, we consume so much because we like big trucks and stuff. Coming up, big old truck. A little bit more on this. We've got some AI interesting stuff about could the AI influencers take over the actual influencers, which I find fascinating. If you missed any show, grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital, I want you to talk to my friends over at Bulwark today with all the stuff going on. What's going on with your investments? What's going on in your retirement? Bulwark is amazing. They're global investors. They don't look for stuff just here. They're about managing your money, building you something specifically based on your needs. And right now they want to give you what they call a second opinion. This is where they go through all the things that you're doing in your investments, show you where maybe you're being overcharged, show you where maybe there's lots of fees, or where maybe you're over-leveraged or have too much exposure, and then give you a rundown of what it is they do. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. Call them today. Get a free look at it's a second opinion on all the things going on in your investment. 866-779-RISK. 866-779-RISK. Or you can go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com for my friends over at Bulwark Capital Management today. knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Check 25217.
Iran claims it sent missiles toward U.S. military bases in the Middle East. And here in Nashville, an internal investigation is wrapped up into allegations against Metro Police Chief John Drake. These stories and more coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The use of military force, which is offensive in nature, must be approved by the House and the Senate. That's according to the Constitution. It's not optional, Donald. It's not.
It's not, huh?
What about Barack?
Well, I was going to say, so Barack, Libya?
Yeah.
Kosovo with Clinton?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to go on and on? Biden? Oh, how about Syria? We could talk all day about Biden or whoever was running that thing. He didn't put boots on the ground. You don't need anything for this, so settle yourself down. I know, but you have to come out and say that, right? You're on the other side.
I mean, it's they're gearing up for 2026, man.
They're trying their hardest. Like, you go back, Kosovo was a perfect example. Clinton, we got involved in Kosovo in a major way. We did. You've got, and if you guys don't remember, that's basically when, Yugoslavia just fell apart. What the hell in a handbasket? It was, just crazy. So you got Barack against Libya. You had Iraq and Syria with Biden. And Kosovo was big just because there was also boots and stuff on the ground. And Obama, that guy, well, I know it's a drone. It's not even a robot. It's a robot. Nobody cares.
Bomber in chief.
Yeah. Between his deportations and his bombings, somebody better tell him, dude, you're on the wrong side of the aisle. You're over here with all the rest of the war hawks over here.
He dropped more bombs than George Bush
Oh,
did.
God. And he got us into crap.
Yeah.
He got us into all kinds of crap. So, but it kind of became like a video game because it wasn't. And remember, he killed an American.
Droned him.
He droned his ass. No trial.
No nothing.
Nothing. So nothing. So whenever I hear the Republicans go, they gave Trump immunity for everything. No, for the stuff that is in the peer review of the president, they gave him immunity. If not, then Obama would be in a lot of trouble for droning an American.
Well, but that was okay because that's their side.
Yeah. So
it's only bad when the other guy does.
Totally. So, Qatar is not thrilled by this. I'm reading a bunch of stuff that says even though they were warned by Iran that they're sending stuff, they were not happy about it because they had to go and shoot it down. But this is what happens. You got bases on you. You like the money we give you. You like the security that comes with it. Because let's be real, a lot of this stuff comes with money and security. Because Iran you would think, is not going to attack you. And yet here we are. And as this guy puts it here, everything here was performative. It's all performative at this point in time.
Well, and I saw something where apparently there were 14 missiles sent over Qatar, which is the same amount of the mops that we dropped.
Oh.
And that some people are seeing that as Iran signaling it wants de-escalation.
Which is, I get they want it because they don't have any other choice. And by the way, de-escalation with us is not the same thing with Israel because Israel's not going to stop.
No.
They're in a war. We are not. We sent a message. We said we were going to do this. We did it. I don't think Trump is. There was nobody killed, nobody injured, nothing on the ground was damaged. So I don't think I don't think Trump's even thinking we should strike them again. You know what? Let it go. If they try it anymore, then maybe. And so I think that's the way that's going to go. But for Israel and them, there is a lot more going on. That's why I don't think these were the big bombs, because they're saving what they have left for Israel. Because Israel is not stopping. This is where the clash, I think, is going to come. What else does Israel want us to do? We did what we said we were going to do. We don't know if we got all of the stuff. I'm feeling we got some, but not a lot. And it's been hidden elsewhere. And it might have been moved for months. But now what? Now what do we have to do going forward? What do you want us to do, BB? Because I feel like you want us to do a lot more.
Well, he wants regime change.
Yeah, but it goes back to who are we putting in charge, right? Do you want what? Just tell me, B, because I feel like no matter who we put in charge, at some point in time they're going to piss off Israel, and he's going to want another regime change. You don't like this one? How's this guy fit? No, he doesn't fit either. Oh, he's tight here. Oh, no. Let them. If you want to weaken him from the inside, and I think you guys are doing a good job, let them do that. But we did our bit. Now let's stay out of it.
Listen to this. Kremlin warns that other nations ready to give Iran nukes.
Yeah, and Trump said earlier, go ahead, and we're going to nuke you. So how would that be? They're not. Nobody's giving them nukes.
Vladimir's running his mouth.
Yeah. Well, it was Medvedev or whatever his name is.
Medvedev, yeah.
He's yapping his train. Nobody's going to give them nukes to piss us off.
Yeah,
Nobody is.
They know better.
And you know what? Go ahead. Give nukes. So they got nukes. So you guys are fine? Okay, cool. We're going to surround you with all of your neighbors who don't like you. We're going to make sure that we put some of our nukes on their bases just to protect them. Yeah. Now, how does that feel? Oh, man, exactly.
And, like you were talking earlier in the show, better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Yeah.
That just because Iran's friendly to Russia right now doesn't mean it's going to be friendly tomorrow or next year.
No. And think about this. What if we did something where they became friendly with us again? Oh, they wouldn't like that. So, settle down. Settle down. Coming up, AI. Could you be seeing influencers leave and regular old folk just going, what's this person here? Well, it's a new AI designed just for you. What? Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
.2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, an internal investigation is wrapped up into an alleged affair involving Metro Police Chief John Drake and a woman on city property and taxpayers' dime. Well, Channel 4 says the Office of Professional Accountability says it found those allegations by Mario Montez Mitchell against Chief Drake involving Mitchell's ex-wife, Watasha Lawless Mitchell, were either subject to interpretation or flat out false. Mitchell's wife had filed an order of protection against him for stalking, and the investigation concludes no evidence that Drake had any part in Mitchell being arrested or charged, and no evidence that Drake asked a Lawless Mitchell to cover anything up. Iran has launched missiles in the direction of nearby Qatar at a U.S. military base there. That is pivotal for coordinating and executing operations in the region. Pentagon officials confirming the strikes to ABC News as President Trump meets in the Situation Room with his national security team. We get more from ABC's Ian Pannell, who says Qatar is claiming they intercepted the missiles and that there were no injuries.
These bases have sophisticated air defense of their own, but Qatar also has sophisticated air defense. It has the U.S. Patriot and THAAD missile systems, some of which are being used here in Israel as Iran attacks. So it's possible when people say they've heard explosions that these are intercepts.
Right now, the New York Post is reporting that President Trump has no intention of striking back after Iran's, quote, failed retaliation, according to sources. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Highs in the mid-90s with triple-digit heat indices could feel right around 105 and even more in some places. Be sure to stay hydrated and take frequent breaks in the AC.
All right, guys, USS. Speaking of that, as stuff starts to warm up, get yucky outside, you know what happens underneath there? Right, you know, your foundation, right, your crawl space, the walls, things like that. Those little cracks become something nasty. Next thing you know, it becomes mold, wood rot. It's just like, ugh. That's where USS comes in. They're going to come out, give you a full look over. Make sure that everything you've got in front of you is working and ready to roll, and there's nothing down there like the wood rot, like the mold going on, and that you don't need any structural repair, and it's not going to cost you anything. And if they do find something, they're not going to say something you don't need. That's the beauty of USS. 30 years in business and crushing it over and over again with their customers because they absolutely do right by them. And that's what you should want. If you have any issues, whether you worry about those cracks, maybe even during the winter when everything happened with the freeze, and then there was maybe there was a little something that happened. Maybe you got a little bit of a leak and you didn't really know about it. Don't let it become something bigger than it should. Call USS today, 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855, or check out all their amazing work online at USSTN.com.
And style and install in as little as one day. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at Zintex.com. That's Zintx.com.
All right, guys. As you know, the weather outside is hot. You're going to go to the beach. You're going to go to the lake. You're going to go to the pool. You need towels. MyPillow's going to deliver the best towels around. They're big. They're huge. They're super absorbent. Cotton-like feel. It's incredible. Like, soak up the water. It's incredible. Now, made in America. And right now, tons of colors and styles to choose from. $24.99. $24.99. And what I mean, when people say, what do you mean big? Well, if you go to the beach, right? If you go to somewhere, you want to lay out, you want to have that towel, but you want a tiny towel. If you're going to go walking around, but you want to go get something to drink, you want to go in the house, you want to wrap it around and make sure it fits. It does. It's the beauty of it. Even if you're a little bit larger, it's incredible. So get the MyPillow towels right now, just in time for the warm weather. And yes, by the way, when it gets cool outside, if you need to throw it on because you run back and forth between jacuzzi, you can do that as well. These things are awesome. Made right here in the United States of America. MyPillow towels. Go to MyPillow.com/Benson, just $24.99. Take advantage of this. Check out the colors and the styles. MyPillow.com/Benson. MyPillow.com/Benson.
So this makes a lot of sense. This is, of course, very similar to when the Iranians, in their view, had to retaliate after the U.S. killed Qasem Soleimani. That was several years ago, and there was, in essence, performative strikes against a U.S. base in Iraq. And I think we're seeing the same thing right now. One note on this is we saw about 6 hours ago, the U.S. Embassy in Qatar had put out in essence, a warning to its staff, basically saying shelter in place. That then translates into a shelter in place notification for the U.S. community in Qatar. So to me, that meant that we knew that that some type of retaliation was coming, and it makes some sense with the notion that the Iranians probably tipped off the Qataris all of this, Chris, seems to be designed to actually look for an off-ramp, that where the Iranians can say that they did something. Not enough, certainly no U.S. casualties, which would engender a U.S. response. So perhaps this is, in some ways, while we're talking about military action now, perhaps this is a path forward to wind down any type of larger kind of conflagration between the U.S. and Iran.
Performative. That's it. We sent something. We told you we were sending. We warned everybody we were sending. We sent it to you. And then Qatar's got to come out and go, we're angry at you, Iran, for doing this. We thought you were our friends. Because their people are like, what the hell are these guys doing, firing stuff at us? Oh, my God. This is the world of the Middle East, and it's chaos. There you go. Performative. What does it mean? As I said earlier, there's a body count. It sounds horrible. It's like we talk about with school shootings. It's horrible, and we even hate to bring it up. But here's the reality of it. Yeah, there comes some sort of situation where you're going to cover it in a much different way, depending on who the shooter is, all this. It's the same thing here. This is all performative. It's a body count. If this would have landed and it would have killed 50 U.S. soldiers and injured hundreds more and destroyed certain areas, yeah, you bet your candy butt we'd have been up and doing something about it. But it didn't happen that way. And now the question is, what does Israel do? Because Israel's people are asking, okay, now what? Now what? You're pushing for this. Again, what now? You're pushing for something. Okay, we haven't finished with Hamas, and they're still over there. We got Hezbollah over here. You open up another front, and America, they did what you asked them to do. And what you're pushing to do, by the way, AIPAC and so many, they're pushing here. They're lobbying here. They're spending money here. By the way, they're not spending it with me. Because as you know, Bell and Ken and I have talked about it, we are for sale.
For ice cream.
For ice cream. We take it in tonnage. Watch us get a whole bunch of ice cream sit here. Oh, you could drive home in it, Ken. That'd be awesome. Oh, goodness. There is this game of us being lobbied. We are being lobbied by Israel to get after it on Iran. They want change. Okay, who's next? Because if you don't get to pick them, who's next? That needs to be the real question. And I know that originally there wasn't a talk of this, and then Trump tweets out, the MEGA, make Iran great again if we have to, which was, again, just he's trolling them. But look, what he did was great. I got zero problems. If this was all that we were going to do, fine. The minute we get boots on the ground, the minute we get tangled up in stuff, it's a never-ending thing. You guys understand that. Somebody just said, we still have boots on the ground in Kosovo. 26 years later, whatever it's been. We still have boots on the ground everywhere. Because the minute something happens, we take the opportunity to go, we'll help you out. We go there, we put up a base, and we never leave. So, but this is an Israel thing. And Israel wants to get rid of them so bad, then go ahead and do it. If this is their jam, that's fine. We'll supply you with the protection. We supposedly took out the nukes. But I'm waiting for them to go, hey, they're 2 weeks away from a breakout because they got some of this stuff out. We didn't get to where we needed to get. They got some of it out. So we're going to have to go in again. And we're going to have to go in again. They want that. This, though, with Iran today was a signal. All right, we heard you. We're done. So, but they're not going to, Israel's not going to finish with them. And Iran is not going to finish doing what they're doing with Israel in that battle. That's a war. What we did was an action. And I know that, the Iran supreme leader comes out, we will never surrender. Never surrender. Okay. He's already appointed 3. Well, you have to appoint 3, right? Because if any indication of the past is there, they're probably going to take a few of them out. And that's where you go, I don't want any of this. No, not me. Hard pass. AI is interesting. I love it. I work on it every single day. And I'm showing Belle stuff today that was hilarious and wrong, by the way.
And it also looked 100% real.
Yeah, so real. And it gets better on a daily basis. And that's one of the things they're talking about here is what to believe, what not to believe. When the first video started coming down from Cutter shooting stuff down, I had to look 10 different places to make sure that was real. Because it's so hard to tell, and especially something like that is hard to tell. But now you've got influencers who may be getting pushed out when it comes to being influencers.
Human influencers on TikTok could soon be a thing of the past, or at least pushed to the back of the line. A new update means the next sponsored post you scroll past might be hosted by an AI avatar. TikTok announced more generative AI features for advertisers Monday, and among them, image to video, text to video, and showcase products.
Let's say you're starting from scratch with no content. Don't sweat it. The text-to-video tool helps you create a scene.
All marketers have to do is type a prompt like makeup shopping haul, and TikTok generates a full video to match. And for the image to video feature, one product photo can be used to animate an entire ad. Or if they want a human face without hiring an influencer, TikTok offers a menu of AI-powered avatars that look and talk just like humans.
And they look so real. And the reaction. So you used to be able to tell. The one thing that for me, the voice, while it's way better, I can still get a little, I can understand that. But when it comes to the pictures, and I think part of the problem is the pictures at times are so good, the video is so good, it's hard to believe who's real and who's not. But these influencers on this one, I will tell you, it is crazy how good they looked, especially with the makeup influencers. They were crazy good. They looked much more natural than some of the other stuff that's done, because if you take a little bit more time, you'd find out what you can do.
But why go digital? According to Shopify, influencer rates in 2025 can range from $10 for a single post from a nano influencer to over $10,000 for a mega influencer. For brands looking to scale, AI might be the cheaper and faster bet. TikTok's AI push comes as a growing number of users are already testing out AI characters themselves.
Hey guys, welcome to my first TikTok ever.
With users like Aaliyah AI or Rome AI, whose accounts were just recently created. They're already racking up thousands of followers and hundreds of thousands of likes with completely AI-generated content. Most of these digital influencers' clips were built using Google's Veo, an AI video generator. That's the same platform sports betting company Kalshi used for an ad played during the NBA Finals.
Indiana got that dog in them.
From TV commercials to TikTok ads, the AI wave is building fast. And it's not just TikTok. Meta is reportedly planning to fully automate their ads using AI by 2026, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Man, it is so crazy how good it's gone, how fast it's gone. Even paying people as little as $10. They're like, now we could save how much? So much. But you also want people, and this is the thing, I think for a younger generation, maybe they're okay with it, because it's no different than watching, if you're putting on makeup or doing something like that, it's no different than watching that hammer, putting together, I don't know, a wall or something. Okay, you can do that. That's good for an instructional video or something for makeup, you can say. But you also want the human side of it. And that's the one thing AI hasn't figured out how to do. They're not human. Not yet. And because of that, you do want a human touch with stuff. You want to know what happens in certain situations, because they're not there. They're not living that life, because while there's a sense of who they are, if you will. And it's weird because I don't know if you guys have ever used it. You ever said thank you to AI? Hey, thanks for that. Like I'm talking to somebody else, right? Look at Ken's looking at me, go, yeah, maybe I did. Right? And you know what? You should say thank you, and you should say please. And the reason is because it's learning. And you want it to have that. That's one of the things that Sam Altman has said. We want that. We want people to be courteous because we want it to learn, kind of, pick up some of the mannerisms as humans.
Just the courteous mannerisms.
Yes, just the courteous. Oh, my Lord. People sending me stuff because I'm not a patriot enough, apparently. So, Chad, you are mistaking Trump for our past presidents. Why don't you support him 100%? Because I think going in would be horrible. I think nation building is stupid. We don't do it well because too many interests that include interest of big business get involved. They're not worried about the nation or the people or the cost because they're the ones getting paid. That's why. America first should be about America. And yes, our allies. But if our allies want to go pick a fight all the time, I'm sorry. It's got to be a you thing. You got to deal with it. And that's the same thing that goes for Israel. It's about time that you guys said, all right, we've had enough of you, baby. This is it. We can't pick a war with everybody in the neighborhood and expect America to be, to stand behind us like the movie My Bodyguard. All right? Every once in a while, you do it, which you can. Okay? As long as we give you the courage, you can do it. I know people say you're anti-Semitic. I'm a Jew and I support Israel. I'm not a fan of Bibi. And I feel there's a lot more to this. Coming up, we'll wrap it up. I think Chris is here, right? Chris is in right now, right? Because Matt is, for those of you guys who don't know, I did speak to Matt today.
Yeah, Chris is filling in for him today.
Yeah, he's back here in the newsroom getting his show all ready.
I did speak to Matt today, and I told Matt, we got to do a couple segments this week when you're high as a kite and ask you really important questions to see where you take us. So
when are they slicing him open?
Today. I think he might be on the table now. We do not know.
He might be in recovery right now.
Maybe. Hopefully he gets to keep it. His bionic arm is ready.
Hopefully Erica, his wife, had the camera rolling when he was coming out of anesthesia.
I hope he's got like a British accent. That would be hilarious. Or speaks French, Portuguese. Oh, my Lord. Can't do a show anymore. Why? Because he only speaks Portuguese. Wrap up the show straight ahead. Jeff Ed Show. Super Talk 99.7.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Matt Murphy looks decidedly different today.
I do. What's up? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
So what is it, a weird day? You wake up and you look around and you're like, I have hours before I have to do anything.
What time does Murphy normally wake up during the week? Does anybody know?
Noon,
is it like a noonish kind of thing?
2:40-ish.
I had a lot of time. Today. I'm like cooking breakfast. I'm doing dishes. I folded some laundry. Not all of it. Not all of it. I didn't want anybody to get too comfortable.
Yeah. Wait a minute, isn't that the kids' job?
I folded some of it. They sort and they pile.
That is, so you got up, you're ready, because Murphy, if you guys don't know, he's had his surgery today.
Yeah, we'll have updates for you. I got some updates coming up from Murphy.
So that's good. I told him to call in when he's high.
That's what we're gonna be doing.
What's going on, guys?
We've tentatively made a plan to have medicated moments with Murphy all week.
I like that.
Now, depending on how things go, who knows if this comes to fruition or not. But we do have a tentative plan for medicated moments with Matt.
Today will be good because he'll probably be feeling really good today. Tomorrow he's going to have his moments, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
And he's very excited. So what do you got on the big show today? Because you had all day to plan it.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do much. There's nothing to talk about. There's no stories. It was a slow weekend. It was very sleepy. No, I mean, we're going to talk about what everybody wants to talk about, which is Israel, Iran, and America, and how we play into things, what this latest strike means, and more. I mean, plus we'll be taking more of your phone calls all day long and letting you guys weigh in on it as well. But I'm here for it, man. I think no matter what side you're on, Donald Trump executed this as perfect as one could.
Yeah. I mean, the guys knocked it out the park. Everything was perfect. Nobody got killed. Nothing got shot down.
It's by the grace of God. Yeah. The military members that we had out there doing that, some of the best, and they should be absolutely praised as heroes for what they did and celebrated. And just unbelievable planning by this military that we have.
Now the question is, what's the next step? They shot a bunch of stuff today, but it was all baloney.
Yeah.
It's performative, as some of the people are saying.
But it's like one of those things where it's kind of like the silver lining of state-controlled TV, right?
Yeah.
So they can send up those rockets, not hit anybody, and then they'll be able to broadcast to their people this huge win that they had.
And that's what we want them to do.
Yep, exactly. They'll throw up an explosion on TV. They'll talk about how they took down the great Satan, and then they'll enter some diplomatic negotiations.
And then we get this done and dusted, and everybody hopefully can move on with their life. I still feel like Israel would like to move on from Khomeini, which is fine, but you do that. That's what you want. We'll make sure you got the protection we can give you. They'll eventually run out. We'll make sure that nobody else gives them anything to shoot at you, but you guys want to get rid of them, then you go ahead. We're not good at nation building, and it's very expensive, and whenever we go there, we tend to stay there forever.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that idea.
No, I'm not.
Did you see the video going around from the son of the exiled Shah of Iran?
God, he's an idiot.
He put out a video though, but my favorite part was he used Coolio's "Gangsta's Paradise."
I know, but he's also cheering his own people being shot at.
but "Gangsta's Paradise,"
Shaw,
hell of a choice.
This is why your dad had to come over here and run for his life, you idiot. He is not somebody that's going to take that over.
Spending most our lives
living in a gangsta's paradise
while they're hiding.
Mind on your money, money on your mind. Chris is straight ahead. You better rewind if you want to listen to our show. Grab the podcast.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Amish Paradise by Coolio, by Weird Al was way better.
It's such a good song.
Way better.
That was the one. Coolio. He was the one who did not like that.
He was very angry.
He was very angry. Everybody else was cool.
He knew it was better.
Yeah. Well, it's hard, man. It's hard to compete with Weird Al. Coming up next, Chris straight ahead. You guys have a good one.